She was just there for the season.
Started again. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yeah.
We put her ass in deep sleep. You won't hear a creep. Wow. Then I slap her from her backside, and you know she get right, and you know she get high. Wow. And I pull her out that meat, put her ass to sleep from behind, beep.
Why you lying?
Nigga about to get us canceled.
You ain't getting deep.
Come on.
What is wrong with you niggas, man? Krew Season Podcast, we back again. This is episode 138. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, we've been at 130 for a long time.
34.
I mean, we ain't working hard enough, man.
34, that's what it sounds like.
Kenny T is in the building. OT is in the building. I'm D Trill AC. This is another episode of the Krew Season Podcast, man. How you boys doing on this glorious morning?
Great, man. This probably best I've felt in some time.
I'll tell you one thing, you don't look it.
You know what I'm saying? Goddamn right.
I just wanted to get this off my chest to both of you.
We just started though, but mentally, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, I'm getting back in my groove.
See what they do. Niggas try to work out for 6-7 days. Both of them. When they come in here with, newfound optimism on life.
Try. Yeah, he don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
He don't know.
The grass is greener. The air smells a little cleaner. I don't hear none of that shit.
You got to water it, right? Start watering, you start seeing things.
I ain't got to water mine. That's turf.
That's why.
Fraudulent.
That's why it don't grow.
Got you.
So you got the BBL.
Don't need to grow.
Steroids. Okay, I see what's going on
shots.
It's naturally fitting.
But yeah, nah, man. We back again. We got some topics to discuss.
Wow.
Didn't want to address it, man, but we're gonna have to tap into it at least. Just to get initial thoughts on it. This is gonna be quick. Jonathan Majors, recently under fire, man. He was in Creed 3. You know, I think his first starring role in like a major picture. And literally a month after the release, we have accusations. Apparently, him and his girlfriend was leaving a bar in Brooklyn. Was in a taxi cab, got into an argument. The argument escalated. They got to the apartment, and apparently things got physical. Police was called. He has been arrested and charged with felony assault, strangulation, and his alleged girlfriend is the victim. Now, she was she's of Caucasian descent. So, of course, this hit the timeline, and the timeline went crazy. Right? For a multitude of reasons. Damn. But I just want to get y'all take.
Damn.
I mean, you already know. Just that intro alone, you know what the sentiment was on Twitter. It's going crazy.
It connects for a worst possible chemical reaction.
I mean,
Perfect storm, nigga.
I mean, Jesus. But yeah, so, that's what we, dealing with right now. Now, of course, it's nothing. He hadn't been convicted of anything. It's all accusations and things of that nature. So it's only so much that we can speak to. But we can't speak to the backlash of it. Now, apparently, he's been in works with Marvel to the tune of 5 films, in which he was going to be the, leading villain in, and things of that nature. Was word saying, they was basically about to give him the keys to Marvel, which means that
he was starting early.
Yeah. So, of course, with these type of accusations out,
he's a villain.
That changes things. Say he living his role in real life.
Character. That shit hard to come out of.
He's starting character already.
But yeah. So, I just want to get y'all take on, like, if these accusations are true, what does that do to his career from this point?
He beating and strangling a woman?
White woman, too.
You can't come back from that.
Yeah.
Done, dog. You see what happened to Chris Brown?
That's true.
And Chris Brown was already off the ground before he did what he did. Mm-hmm. He's just trying to get off the ground. He ain't got the looks. He ain't got the sex appeal until you start working out, and it ain't gonna last long.
Right.
You ain't had no really lead role until Creed 3, and you really wasn't that much of the lead role.
Right.
And then you start strangling, and they say it's accusations.
Accusations.
So he's innocent until proven guilty to me, so he ain't do it.
Right, until we get further clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I just want to hear everything out. Because, I mean, that shit hard. When I think about that, I also think about what just happened with Michael Irvin. And, you know, the week of the Super Bowl, or right before the Super Bowl, it was alleged that he had inappropriately touched a woman, or, you know, and so they pulled him from everything that he was supposed to be on for the Super Bowl week. That's pulling money out of his pocket.
Right.
And then it came back that it wasn't true. They had the film, and they looked at all the, you know, what happened, and it was just a few minutes of them talking, and he walked away. She the one that called him over there to talk and stuff. So, you know, you think about that, and especially as a black man, like I've always said, man, you're guilty until proven innocent. Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. You're not innocent until proven guilty. So we got to just be super careful when we out here moving. And yeah, man, this could definitely affect him, because I was looking forward to, you know, the upcoming movies that he was going to be in, because he killed his role.
In Krew.
Well, Shania, I liked when he was in
Red Tails too.
Doctor Strange.
Was hard too. Yeah, Doctor Strange he was in.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, Ant-Man. He was just an Ant-Man.
Oh, it was.
He was just an Ant-Man.
Well, you're right.
Killed it. So,
damn.
Yeah, man. So that's what I was
like. That's crazy.
Yeah, that'd be hard, man. Damn. I just hate that happened to him, because it seemed like he was just getting ready to take off and do his thing, and, you know, be the next guy that everybody kind of look at.
You know what the wild part about this is that regardless of whether or not he convicted or not, it's going to affect his career.
Always, yep. He going to let that stay on his resume.
Because again, like especially a franchise as prestigious as like Marvel, we ain't taking no chances. You understand me? The accusation alone, the bad press, no sir. We will replace you with somebody else to come in and fill that role, because we got, you know, this is legendary material. It's a lot of money in releasing these films, 400, 500, 600 million at box office. This ain't bullshitting here. We need everybody squeaky clean, you know what I'm saying, and then things that, or it had to happen. It can't be no violent stuff, because Robert Downey Jr. had a little past back in the day for some, you know, drugs and drinking and arrests and things of that nature. But that was way back in the day, you know what I'm saying. But it wasn't no physical violence, strangulation of women type of situation. But yeah, if this is looking how they say it's looking, and they say it ain't looking good. Now we ain't gonna jump to conclusions until the, you know, trial or whatever happens, but they say it ain't looking good, and they say this ain't the first time.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave that there until we get further information. But I just wanted to touch on it. Prayers to all parties involved. It's gonna be tough sledding for boy. It's tough, man, when you come off a high like that. Now, mind you, Creed is the #1 box office boxing movie ever in the time span that it's been out. No other boxing movie in history has done the numbers that they've done up until this point of release. So to be at that height and something like this happen and you fall off a cliff, Jesus Christ. You know who I feel sorry for? Michael B. Jordan. Because this was his directorial debut. And for it to just, boom, go through the roof like that, pass up Rocky, pass up all the, like, in terms of box office, they did 100 million first weekend. Ain't no other boxing movie ever did nowhere close to that. And then for this to happen. So now it's going to taint his trajectory and things like, you know what I'm saying, his movie, his shining moment because of this bullshit. So, what prayers to all parties involved? We're going to keep it pushing. Recently, the state of Utah has become the first state to ban social media for people that are below the age of 18. What's your thoughts on that, man? Is that the right move? Do y'all see that becoming a trend? Or how do you think that'll play out going forward?
I actually kind of like it. Ooh, yeah. To an extent. I mean, but it does have to have, I think, parental approval.
Right.
So you can get it a little bit before 18, but you got to have your parents' permission or whatever. And then also they were saying you can control the algorithm. So the parents can control.
Oh, as far as what's being fed to the. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So I like that they're able to do that. You know, because when we was coming up in social media, there was no algorithm.
Right.
I mean, you saw what you saw. If you followed it, that was on your page. If you didn't follow it, it didn't come up unless somebody shared it with you. And so I think if things were more back like that, it would definitely help people not skew people's lenses and views and thoughts on certain things, because all it takes is one time for you to like something, and the computers and AI are gonna do their thing and start pushing stuff your way. Because it was funny how when it first started happening, you remember everybody asking like, man, I was talking about such and such, and then it just popped up on my phone. Or I liked one thing that's normally not what I do, but then all of a sudden I see a bunch of Jeeps or I see a bunch of trucks. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's like I looked at that shit one time. So I definitely think limiting that and the parents having a little more control over that until they're of age, I think it's okay. Like Facebook, I remember joining Facebook, you had to have a college email.
Yes, sir.
So that meant you had to be of age. So I like that. From that aspect, I definitely like, because kids need to be kind of limited on what they watch, because they can literally watch anything and you don't know what they're watching. And that's just social media, because it got YouTube videos and TikTok videos and all type of stuff. They were talking about like Peppa the Pig. There were certain things that they'll say or do, in the cartoons. And, if you're a parent, you just walking by seeing it, you just gonna keep going. Yeah. But the kids are really listening to what they're saying in these type of, cartoons and stuff. So, in a similar realm, I like it. I'm for it.
Can you tell, is it a good thing? Banning social media to people who aren't of age, who aren't 18?
Yeah, I think putting more onus on the parents, paying more attention to what their kids are doing and watching it's a great idea. I mean, because most of it really relies on the parents actually paying attention to what your kids are doing most of the time.
Right.
A lot of parents these days just hand their kids a tablet and saying, okay, go here, here's a tablet.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Here's a tablet. And then wonder why next thing you know, you hear, if you want to see me naked on the tablet. Right. Like, what are you doing? Are you mad at the kid? But the kid just, hey, man, you just told me get the tablet and get out of here. You ain't trying to spend no time with them or nothing like that. You just want them something to occupy their attention. And then they start finding stuff to occupy their attention. Now you mad.
Right.
And why don't you just put more onus on, and put more guidance on what you can see. Just like they do cable TV, parental guidance. You can't watch it for so you can't be on it for a certain amount of time. I think they need to limit the amount of time kids are actually on their devices too.
That'd be dope. Because this kids spending way too much to kids in school.
Shoot, adults need it too. God damn it.
That's true too.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that is one of them too. The time limitation as well.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because they doing that overseas in China, like on TikTok. First off, they're not getting all the content that we getting over here. Right. Their stuff is limited. They getting like things that they can learn from, like really, meat that you can hold on to and stuff like that overseas. Pause. You know what I mean?
I got you. What's still
of substance? Something of substance. Y'all, I did it to myself.
It was the
you got me.
It was the emotion.
You got me.
I say meat you can hold on to. I said, whoa, hey, yo.
You got me.
All right. But yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I think the main thing in my opinion is that it limits interaction with other adults. It's so much pedo stuff going on, man. You got adults just reaching out to kids. You know what I'm saying? And kids that's again young and gullible, so they entertaining the conversations, trying to meet up, trying to link up, and it's just so much accessibility, especially for somebody 16 or so. They may have their license already and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So they on social media talking to this older man or this older woman, and they trying to link. You see all these teachers getting popped for having sex with kids in school and things of that nature. So again, when you limit their access to that type of vulnerability, then you limit the likelihood of that happening. So, I mean, I'm all for that, man. Kids that young don't need to be that deep into social media anyway. It affects your mental, especially in school. I couldn't even imagine being in high school today with that much access to, social media and things. Like when we was young, man, it was MySpace, and that was when we was in late high school. But they got kids in middle school on Twitter and on Instagram and YouTube and all of these things, and
shit, middle school, shoot, elementary.
But not only that, we had to go back home to get on MySpace. You can be on MySpace or you can be on Facebook and stuff now on your phone in class.
So with that type of situation, bullying is increased. Sexual content stuff can be posted and things of that nature. So people can really get embarrassed. Fights getting recorded, posted online, and just different things like that. But if you limit the accessibility and you limit what type of things come to their stream, come to their algorithm, then I think that can only be a good thing, in my opinion. So salute to that. But I also want to get your opinion on this whole TikTok trial. they trying to ban TikTok in the States. They're actually in litigation right now. And it's pending. It's in the air. It could happen. Mm-hmm. So what's y'all thoughts on that, and what type of messaging does that send?
I think it's mainly because it's China.
Right.
We got bad beef with China, so the fact that it's ran by a Chinese corporation, we really don't like that. Because whenever we sign up for TikTok or any social media platform, we just agree to it. We don't read the whole contract or whatever it is on there. And basically that contract says we have the right to look at everything in your phone when it comes to messages, what you say. We have access to your Siri when you don't know it, your phone, your camera, everything. Says in that contract, and how our government looks at it is that's a way to spy on us Americans.
Yep.
So I think that's the big issue with it, not for what they say, China only shows us certain things on TikTok and shows their people certain things on TikTok. America ain't really worried about that. Showing about people dancing and doing TikTok dances. They worried about what they can see we are doing and what they might leak to our people that they ain't told us. You know what I'm saying? But
I agree, because TikTok, man, people think it's just a dancing app. It's a lot that go on. I think dancing is probably the least thing that happens on there. You got people literally doing reviews on restaurants and websites and cities. Hey, these are the places to go. That's the places to go. So if that type of intel gets to an op, so now they just taking inventory. Oh, okay, this is a place where everybody frequent. Okay, this is a place for this. So, makes us more vulnerable to attack, makes us more vulnerable to them sending people to, to plant or to spy and different things. So, I mean, I understand it from that perspective, 100%. But I think, again, the like messaging that it sends is also, if it can happen to them, in terms of that app, it can happen to any app. In terms of if the government just decides, you know what, I don't feel like this is healthy for society no more. Let's wrap this up. We gonna cancel it. We gonna limit access to it. It speaks to the like censorship thing. It's supposed to be freedom of speech, supposed to be freedom of expression and things of that nature, freedom of press and all of these things. But fact is, those things are not free, regardless of what the the Constitution or whatever Articles of Confederation says. So they can literally jump in and just limit you whenever they feel like it. You got content creators who are, have certain messaging or whatever, and if they don't like the messaging, they whole platform can be wiped out on not just this social media platform, but all social media platforms. So, that's why I asked the like messaging of like censorship, like what type of messaging does that send in that regard? And are we heading to a healthy place? Or is it a more of a like I don't want to say dictatorship, but it's way more limits on speech than they advertise? Or do y'all think that is healthy, that they should be able to just limit these things?
I definitely think they should be able to limit it to a certain extent. And I get why, too, because you can have somebody that's super opinionated. They have, some characteristics that people like behind themselves, and just personable. And they can, incite different types of things just based off their influence.
Right.
So I think that's kind of what they're afraid of. But it's, I don't know, this topic is tricky, man, because they pick and choose which things they want to allow and don't allow.
There you go.
So, like when it's us inside, and this comes to music, this comes to all that stuff. Like when it's us, when I say us, I mean black people. When it's us talking about killing each other, shooting each other, sliding on your ops, and doing things like that, that's cool. You can play that in the club. You can play that on the radio. Well, they edit the radio a little bit, but you can play it, almost anywhere, and people profit off of it, and it's cool. But if you say something about a cop, say something about, an official, anything like that,
or a certain demographic of people, which we gonna not name,
you get in trouble.
Talking about
you get in trouble for it. So I don't know. This shit is difficult and it's tricky. Like I said, I understand the overall concept, but like if you're gonna be like that, it needs to be all the way through and through, and not just pick and choose which things you want to allow and don't allow. That's what I don't like about it.
It needs to be a specific rubric. So if anybody violates according to this rubric, then
plain
they
and
get
simple.
penalized.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. But again, we're gonna see how this thing play out. It's still in litigation right now. It's pending. Everybody, eyes open, like what's gonna happen? Because there's people making some money on TikTok, man, in terms of sponsorships and things of that nature. And if this thing get banned, pockets gonna get a little light around here. So we're gonna see how it play out, man. But all right, we're gonna get back into some relationship stuff. Since we referenced the music industry, EST Gee, probably my favorite rapper right now, was recently doing a radio interview in which he was pressing a woman about her takes on relationships and pointing out contradictions and things of that nature. They sent us this clip about 100 times, so we gonna review it. Get y'all take on what he had to say, man. My boy trying to hold her to the fire.
Just because he ain't had no money, you left him?
Had to.
That ain't right. I don't like that.
If he's making more money than me, if I'm making more money than him,
You should help him get some more money.
How am I going to do that, though? If I have my own career, I'm doing what I'm doing.
A woman's supposed to be a helpmate.
I feel like a man is supposed to be that for a girl.
A man's supposed to be a leader.
You right.
You're supposed to help him be a better leader.
I don't know. So I was in the wrong. Now I'm the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy.
Man, you looking for a daddy.
I ain't looking for a daddy. I got my own money. I got my own money. I could do what I do. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need a guy for money.
But you want one.
I want a man to be stable. If I was to leave him, I want him to be...
So he wasn't stable?
He was okay, but I was making more than him.
Why are you leaving me? So you just want...
Because he wasn't doing better than me. I need a guy doing better than me. And if he's not doing better than me, then...
I guess. But like, it would have been more real if you'd have helped him get to where you wanted him to be.
Y'all want these guys. I feel like guys want that love story. Like, I feel like guys want us females to be with them in the trap, do what they do, and then when shit goes downhill.
No, nobody want that. You want that. You could have helped him outside of the trap. You could have helped him get a barber license or anything.
But he could have did that himself. He could have went to school. He could have did that himself. I would have encouraged him. I'm not his mom. I'm not gonna carry him and go do this and this. I feel like I need a man.
Been a mom. Just because he ain't had no money, you left him?
Hi.
Thoughts, man. I think this clip was very symbolic of a lot of what happens in society today in terms of, helping your partner reach, peaks and status that you would like them to be at. It seemed like nobody want to put the work in. And she was a glowing example of that. But I just want to get y'all take on the back and forth and how y'all think it went.
You want me to take this?
I'm going to have to answer anyway. You might as well go.
So I just think this is another example of a person that represents the woman population. Of course, we know it's not all. But this is a good bit of a mindset. And from one aspect, I can definitely understand where they're coming from because they want a man to provide. And to them, it's like, how can you provide if I'm doing better than you? If you're supposed to be the leader, how can I be doing better than you? But the thing is, it's not necessarily all about money. Because, again, like we always say, you can have money, but be terrible with how you manage it. And she said this man was doing well. Not better than her, but he was doing well. He was doing okay for himself. He had some structure, he had some foundation, but it just wasn't better than her. And she went to the extreme of, well, nigga want me to help him, from the trap. It's like, that wasn't that situation. That man had some resources. It just wasn't as much as you. So if you care about somebody and love someone, I don't get why, that would be an issue. How can we, if I'm rocking with you for who you are, then how can I help you elevate? That's how it should be. But it doesn't, it's not looked at that way. But when it's a man, he's supposed to just accept you. So if it's the other way around, am I supposed to look at you like, well, you're not on my level, so I can't do nothing with you. You're not on my level. Imagine if men started doing that. Oh, you're not at 80, so baby, you at 40. I'm sorry, you're not on my level. I can't rock with you. You got to be at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be crazy. If it's supposed to be about love, it's supposed to be about furthering our legacy and growing together, you should be able to meet somebody where they're at, especially if they already got things in place and moving. Right. Now, some people do want to stay where they are. They're comfortable. I get that. Ask them, hey, is this what you want to do the rest of your life? You know what I'm saying? I guess you can kind of decide where you want to go from there. But just to judge this man just off his finances, I just don't think that's cool, because the moment you have a certain requirement about how you look or your profession, if a man, I don't want OnlyFans, I don't want a stripper, I don't want someone that's in the nightlife, I don't want my woman that dresses a certain way. If you say things like that, you get canceled. But a woman can easily say, you just got to make as much money as me. I mean, you can't make less money than me, and that's cool, but I can't have my preferences on what I want. So I just think things need to be more realistic. That's all. If you've already established yourself and you're making money on your own, having someone with some structure should add and build to that.
Right.
Stop downing somebody because they're making a little bit less than you, even though they're already financially stable. Like, stop looking at it that way. Come together as a unit and then build from there. You got 120, he got 60, but that's 180 together. 60 more than you didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Now, you do want to date somebody that's close to you, so that, that may be a little bit extreme, but I get you want to have somebody on the same level as you or close to the same level as you, but people miss out on good people by doing that. And then it just starts a cycle where the man, now he starts doing other women wrong, and now the woman want to date up, and then she finds a man who's making more money. Now he treating her dirty. It's just a trickle effect. It just always doesn't end good. So accept people for who they are and grow from there.
One day I'm going to get you to stop giving them disclaimers. One day, man, we're going to work at it. Kitty, what's your...
I want them to know that I'm understanding.
Nah, I don't like that.
I am understanding.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But that's your opinion. I got to respect
Y'all still hoes, though.
No, he ain't going to do that. So Kitty T, she was speaking of the fact that, hey, man, I don't care what type of man that is. He ain't making as much money as me or more. It ain't going to work. I can't respect him as no leader. That just is what it is. EST Gee, provided examples like, damn, you could have helped the man glow up. You could have helped the man get to where you need him to be. I ain't his mama. That ain't my job to get him where he need to be. Like, he need to come as is. So again, interesting back and forth. What was your thoughts on that?
I think she needs to find the value of a relationship to her. Like, she just thinks it's all about finances. Like, what attracted you to that man wasn't his finances, obviously, at first. It was who he was. He was a stable man, had his own funds and everything, didn't make as much as you, but he was stable. And then the main reason why you leave him is because of finances. It's just mind-boggling. I think what's happening in today's society is a lot of people don't know what love is or how to go about finding love or understand what they actually want in a partner. I think she's lost in this, whatever life she's been used to. I don't think she's ever been in a real serious relationship, honestly.
I agree with that.
I think she's been used to, a men with money, give her some money and they get what they get out of her and then leave. Rather than having a man that, had some money, just not as much as her, but was stable enough and was treating her like a man should, but she just didn't get what she was used to getting. And it probably scared her, in my opinion. But I don't want to make no assumptions about the lady or the woman like that. I think it's sad that that's what it came down to, because you missed out on an opportunity to find you a good man. Even if he wasn't trying to make more money than what he was making, he was a stable man, was being successful in life, obviously, and could hold his own. And you just threw that away because he wasn't making what you were making or more than what you were making.
Right.
And as we all know, money don't keep your relationship happy. It might keep it somewhat steady, but it doesn't keep the bond between you and that person. You need to have that bond between each other even when the money goes south. So,
and again, that's my issue with it, man. Nobody want to work with each other no more. People expect to just people to come in 100% of the person that I need them to be. But just like EST Gee is saying, if this dude is that great of a guy, and y'all vibing, y'all chemistry is good, you respect his discipline as a man. He getting up, going to work every day, willing to provide for the family, willing to show up every day. Put you first, priority, be considerate, things of this nature. The fact of him not making more money than you is enough to just end the relationship completely. That is crazy to me. Now I can see if it's like a drastic difference in income, like it's talking about, okay, you making 160, he making, or 120, said you making 60. Okay, that's understandable. Because again, women want to look at their man and feel a security net. But that type of woman, if it was 100 versus 75, she would feel the same way. And that right there is a problem. Because again, fact is, what people don't understand, going back to what Kenny said about her not having no relationship experience, and Kenny ain't willing to stand on the legs, but I am. She doesn't. I can tell she's never been in a long-term relationship of any substance. All of her relationships have been transactional. You can just look at her and listen to her and be able to tell. Because when you've been in a long-term relationship of substance, you understand that there are ebbs and flows. So even if the man does come in making more money than you, especially if, she referenced it, not me, you dating a street guy, that money can go up and that money can go down. He can go to jail, he can be up 1 minute moving a kilo a month, or he can go back down and be moving ounces a week depending on the circumstances. So if you're willing to leave him based on the income alone, then that means that you never loved a man to begin with. The relationship was transactional. Let's call it what it is, right? So with that being the case, you're not ready to be in a relationship. You have the wrong mindset. Because being in a relationship, like we always say, the number one trait that you should be having is the ability to adapt, because things change. So with the ebbs and flows, you got to be willing to pick your partner up when they fall. And vice versa. You got to not let it go to your head. You got to not keep tally. You got to, you know what I'm saying? We working at this thing together, just like said, 120, 60, that's 180. We making 180. That's our money. Your money, my money is our money, if you move in the right way. But when you used to transactional relationships, it becomes a keep and tally situation. It's like, well, I'm making this, and what you making? Oh, no, that ain't enough. I can't do it. That type of situation. You're not thinking in terms of we. You're thinking in terms of me and you. And that lets me know that you're not ready for a relationship. And that's what EST Gee was pointing out, right? Is that, because let's be honest, especially when you're dating street guys and, men with no type of examples in terms to go get legal money. That's what the dope part about being a couple is that I can put you on game in certain areas and you can put me on game in certain areas. You should be able to look at your partner and, hey, look, man, your strong suits are this. So, baby, let's try this. Let's go that way. You know what I'm saying? Let's get you out of that illegal shit. You got skills that can be transferable to making just as much money, if not more, if you just apply them this way.
It's too much work.
You see what I'm saying? But instead, you'd rather just judge the person for not having the total vision that you got. Even though he disciplined, even though he got money coming in, he going to work every day, things of that nature. You see the discipline. You see the work ethic. Sometimes a motherfucker just need to be guided in the right direction with that work ethic. And that could turn him into a man bigger than even you thought he could be. But you got to be willing to pour into your partner. And fact is, in this era, a lot of people are just not willing to pour into their partner like that. They expect the person to come 100% like I need them to be, or I can't do it.
Yep.
And that's a mindset that's going to have y'all ass single for the rest of your life.
Yep. But they'll be cool with having a kid and take care of their kid off that one income.
Yeah.
So they keep bringing another man in who can provide that and more.
Right.
Another asset instead of having a liability. But hey.
And then leave that man, that hard-working, disciplined man with work ethic. Go get another street guy who's making more money than you temporarily. He goes to jail for 15 years. Now you got 2 kids by him and you back looking for another street guy. Or back looking for another temporary man. That's a lot of women's scenarios, man. Or even if he don't go to jail, let's say, or whatever, you leave him and that man go find a wife and he happy as hell in his relationship, and now your ass is back out here single again. You know, when you had a solid dude, but you let him go for just rudimentary reasons because you didn't want to pour into him. You didn't want to put the work in. Now, again, that's not saying taking a just completely broke guy with no work ethic that's sleeping on your couch, no cars. That's not what we're saying here. We talking about stability. A man that's stable, a man that's disciplined, got his own place, own car, whatever. May not be the car that you want him to drive, may not be the place that you want him to live. But he's living comfortably and he's stable. You just so happen to make more money than the guy. She said, I'm willing to walk because of that. And that's the problem. And that's the problem with society today.
I'm not his mama, but he's supposed to be a daddy or daddy-like.
Of course.
By providing and being there for, providing structure, counsel, all that type of stuff. He's supposed to do that naturally. Because if he didn't, she would leave him if he didn't as well. So it's just funny. It's just
no,
funny.
she would stay because he got a lot of money.
Yeah, according
If he had money, yeah, you're right. If he had
according
money.
to the weight that she put on it. Yep.
And then take on the other trauma.
Yep. That's tolerable.
I get it.
I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce
Yeah,
than
that's how they
be
really
happy
feel.
in a Toyota Corolla.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's the look, the outside perceived look. Instead of getting that Corolla gonna last you 300,000 miles. That Rolls Royce not. That Rolls Royce costs a lot on maintenance. You get $19.99 for oil change for that Corolla.
I can afford it.
Hey, man, some of y'all gonna be single forever, man. And I know Kevin Samuels used to say it all the time, and y'all used to call him an asshole. But some of y'all really gonna be single forever. Like, if that's y'all mindset, if y'all have a similar mindset to that, y'all gonna be single for the rest of your lives. That's just real, and that's unfortunate. But prayers to all parties involved. We're gonna keep this thing moving. You got something else?
So speaking of relationships, did you hear about Lori and Damson Idris?
Yeah, it's over. Ironically, the season finale of Snowfall was last week, and they broke up last week. Damn, it's crazy how that shit go.
They broke up because he was clapping Chloe cheeks on that news show. Sworn.
Again,
Man.
Again. That man is acting, doing his damn job.
I hate that all her relationships are so public like that.
Yep.
That's hard.
But you got to understand it's by design.
But she don't run her own Instagram. Somebody else runs her Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
She don't post none of that's just not ran by her.
Yep.
That's other people posting her relationship stuff. Like, it's not even done by her.
But does she employ him?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
She got to.
Yes, she does.
I wouldn't have nobody that I'm not, don't employ running my stuff.
And more importantly, let's not swim past, she picks the men that she dates. Let's not swim past that. All of this stuff is by design. All of these guys are elite actors, elite athletes, elite this, elite that.
That's her circle.
Hey, that's what she's an elite woman. She ain't. Why would she?
She ain't dating a Kenny.
But how did?
Wait.
No.
Time out.
That was a straight for no reason.
No, I'm just
Came out of
saying.
left field.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter about the bread. Like, it's still not that 0.5%. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It don't matter if a man's making a good amount of money. She's in the circle to where you up here.
Let me explain something to you. LeBron is in that same circle.
Mm-hmm.
Savannah was nobody when he got with her.
That was high school.
It don't matter.
It does a little bit. It does a little bit.
Because he stayed with her.
It do matter.
That's LeBron. He can have any woman he wants in the world according to the circles he's in, and they will be elite actresses and elite athletes and elite this and elite that. I don't want them. I want my woman.
But that foundation was set a long time ago.
You know how many foundations was set and then dissolved? Especially people that met in high school, man.
She been dating around, man.
So again, when I ask y'all, is that by design? Meaning that's part of her celebrity. That's part of her intrigue. Sure, her stepfather has money, sure. But her relevance, her celebrity comes from who she's associated with. That's her stepdaddy. But her relevance comes from who she's associated with. So that's why I asked y'all, like, is that by design? You don't just go from Michael B. Jordan, the Future, to Idris, to all these are elite people. She's doing that on purpose. So I can't necessarily say that, hey, she's just living her life and these things are just happening. Nah, it's some strategy behind it.
I don't know. I think it's just the guys that she wanted to pick from. She
didn't work out.
Hey, I picked this one, and I picked this one,
The pool is small.
That pool ain't small. That's Lori Harvey. She can have any man she wants.
Has she dated a basketball player yet?
I wouldn't surprise me if it's next.
Because that would be a different pool.
Nope, she gonna go to the other side.
What side?
No comment.
Kitty T.
Oh!
Get the fuck out of here. Nigga threw himself in the ring. Hold on. She gonna give a regular guy a chance, and I'm gonna be the first one.
Hope she's listening.
Salute to Lori Harvey, man. Again, I admire how she moving because she ain't opened her mouth. But all I'm saying is this shit in terms of the men she dating are not by accident. Let's just say that. And when they're breaking up, it's not by accident either.
It didn't work out.
That's all I'm saying.
She's just a public figure who's trying to find the one.
It's crazy how much bail y'all shoot a motherfucker that's attractive that y'all like. It's funny though, but I respect it. I get it. I
didn't say anything.
We got a podcast.
I understand. But speaking of celebrity women and women of the industry, Blac Chyna has recently been in the news lately. She's had something of an epiphany. She's ready to give the old life up, her old image up. You know what I'm saying? She's removing the ass shots. She's removing the lip fillers. She's removing, the surgery she had to her face and things of that nature to try to get back to being a regular woman. As a matter of fact, she says she doesn't want to go by Blac Chyna anymore. She wants to go by Angela White now, which is her government. We got a clip from this transformation. We're going to play it, and I want to get y'all take on the new Angela White, not Blac Chyna.
Or are you Angela White?
Angela White.
You are Angela White.
Yes, ma'am.
So why are you choosing that name?
Well, it was given to me by birth, but mostly just for me, it's like getting back to myself, because being in the entertainment field, everybody always calls me like, "Hey, Blac Chyna." Nobody never really calls me Angela, so sometimes I would kind of forget who I am, because it's always about the brand, but not about the person.
Yeah. Or are you Angela White?
So,
she related to Charleston White?
No.
What? Barry White? No.
Barry White. The white around your
The White. She is not related to any of those people. But just for anybody who isn't familiar with Blac Chyna, she came on the scene, got her popularity for being Tiger's woman. Back in the day, she was a video vixen, things of that nature, industry girl, Instagram model. She started dating Tiger. She got into the news cycle for that, became, a brand that is Blac Chyna. Then she left him and went to Rob Kardashian. And that's when she really exploded. Got a TV show and things of that nature. She was so closely tied to the Kardashians, and if you tied to them, your celebrity is going to experience an uptick, and that's what happened. Then in the process of that, she got all type of surgery trying to adapt to what the women of that era were doing, ass shots and boob jobs and lip fillers and things of that nature, and just became damn near a caricature, if we're going to be honest. But once that steam ran out, the celebrity started to die down. Now we have this transformation that's taking place. I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to go by Angela White. I want to be a woman that's serious, in regard to my business and things of that nature. And as a matter of fact, she started a OnlyFans account around the same time that celebrity started to die down. And it was rumored that she made around $250 million. Now, she went in an interview, I think the same interview, and clarified it wasn't $250 million. It was more like $2 million. But
better look at that number again.
Earning an astounding 20 per year thanks to the website. But again, she said it with her words. She came out and said I had OnlyFans from around 2020 to 2022, around the time of the pandemic, and people reported it that I made $250 million. She said I don't know where that number came from. It was more like $2 million.
This shit says $20 million.
So I'm telling you what the woman said out of her mouth.
Ducking the taxes.
It's $2 million.
$2 million, not 20.
I gotta go. But what I'm saying is she was reaching to remain relevant and to make income for herself. Her and Rob Kardashian broke up, and like I said, she got out of that Kardashian cycle. Things started to die down, but now she's trying to make the transformation. How serious are y'all taking her in her efforts to make this transformation, or do y'all feel like this is just a rebrand, man? Oh, also she was baptized recently as well. Says she gave her life to the Lord.
I think a lot of people, when they get to a certain point in their life, they start reflecting a lot and understand that what they did maybe wasn't the best thing, but they had to do what they had to do while they were in that moment. And so sometimes you can kind of get ahead of yourself, and when you start something, sometimes you got to finish it to keep up. And I think adding the extra things, the aesthetics and all that stuff, she had an image she had to uphold. and, you know, doing gigs or whatever it was, you know, that certain lifestyle, you got to keep it up. And, you know, when things start to plateau and then you start seeing just a downward, not even a spiral, just you start seeing things trending down, not making as much money, not getting as many appearances, views, whatever it is, a lot of times people are going to try to pivot and try to find something else that'll, you know, catch or keep them relevant, things like that. So I think that's, you know, just a part of, especially celebrities. I think a lot of celebrities do this in various ways, start taking on different tasks or just completely shifting who they were or were portraying, whatever it is. And I think that also speaks to the thing about authenticity. Like, you don't, for the most part, you don't have to just completely rebrand. You just kind of add something else to your toolbox. But when you are playing a certain caricature or whatever, like, then yeah, you got to reinvent yourself all the time. And also speaking to the aesthetics part with all the surgeries and things like that, like, I don't know, I've always felt, and what I hear and what I see, how I personally feel about it, is that a lot of men kind of respect you more and appreciate you more, the more of you that you are. So that's why a lot of times women, you know, see so many men approach them in a grocery store or something like that when they don't feel that they look their best. But from a man's perspective, it's like, if you look attractive like this, I can only imagine how you will look when you do put makeup on. And from the flip side is, when I see you with a bunch of makeup on, you could be covering up a lot of things too. But if you are fine and you're attractive without it, then I can only imagine how baby gonna look when she put that stuff on and that dress and them heels and put a little makeup and help her look better. So all the extra stuff is for the people that got money, to my opinion, because that's kind of what they're looking for. Just regular, everyday people, I don't think that's something they really want to have as a man, like something that's like a Barbie doll.
But I mean, here's the question: when you say that's for the people that got money, how many of them people with money you see married to women who look like that?
I mean, ish.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Is that ratio higher than the women who look like regular women?
Well, okay. So coming from a marriage perspective, no, absolutely. Right. But as far as someone that's entertained by many different people, yes. So
again, you got to ask yourself, what is the goal here?
I do agree.
You want to be entertained by multiple people, or do you want to be married?
It's the entertainment.
But again, they claim to be married, so they claim to want to be married, so you call them hypocrites.
Yeah, they want both. They want their cake and eat it too. They want to have attention, but they also want somebody to disrespect them for who they are. But I think because even what's her name? Married to Boris Kudrow.
Vanessa Williams.
Yeah, she had recently came out and said that she kind of missed the attention that she used to get when she was single. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people, you know, some people may be more vocal about it than others, but to an extent, I think a lot of people feel that way, you know, and they miss the feeling they used to have when they went out and got approached by people or just tell them they were pretty or just complimenting them, things like that. Maybe they feel that since they don't go out as much, they don't get that from outside. It's one thing to hear from your partner every single day, but every now and then, hearing it from somebody else may just hit a little bit different. Like, oh, you know, I still got it, or I still feel myself. Like, yeah, baby gonna tell me because they care about me. So they gonna tell me. My family gonna tell me. Friends gonna tell me. But hearing it from a stranger, you know, may hit a little different. It helps my confidence a little bit more.
I agree. But Kenny, do you feel like that's toxic? To yearn for that outside approval when you are in a happy marriage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because just for context, Vanessa Williams not the first one to say that. Aisha Curry said something similar to that, if I'm not mistaken. Steph Curry's wife. So do you feel like that's a toxic trait, or do you feel like that's an unhealthy thing, or is that realistic?
Oh, man. I think that's just human nature to still want attention from other people. I mean, men do it all the time. Let me go out here and see if I still got it. Just go outside and just go out to eat. Go to a bar or something. You know, we say it around the guys all the time. I still got to watch this and do something. You know, it's,
right.
You know, it's human nature. I mean, we crave attention regardless of where it's coming from. We will like it more from our woman, or you get it from your man. But sometimes you don't get it enough from your woman, or you don't get enough from your man, or sometimes you don't get it at all. And then you go outside and okay, here I got it here. But I mean, on the Blac Chyna stuff, I think it is a rebrand, but I mean, it's Hollywood. I mean, she just, from what the data on my phone says, she made $20 million last year.
What the data says.
What the data says, she made $20 million.
I wonder what the taxes.
Now, yeah, I could say she losing money, but if you made $20 million last year, that wouldn't be a reason for me to say, hey, that's why she's rebranding. I think it just might be she just getting tired of Hollywood, getting tired of the press, getting tired of all that attention that she is giving that she doesn't want. Or maybe since she's had her child, she's just sitting there like, damn, I don't want my child to see this from his mom. I mean, we don't know what's going on in some of these people's head. And that kind of scares me about doing this podcast stuff. We might sit there and like all this, you know, doing this in front of the camera and stuff and all that. But as soon as you keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, a lot of people start to come into your life. They start digging to find shit, start digging the stuff to, you know, make you look bad.
Right.
Say you're doing this, say you're doing that. And then comes a time when you're like, you know what? I'm tired of doing this shit. I want to rebrand myself. And then we have to sit here and say, oh, well, she's just, you know, she's not making enough money that she was making, or it's just another way to get more money. I don't know what it is. I just know that if she wants to go by her original name, I think that's good. If she wants to get rid of the BBLs and all the plastic surgery, I think that's good. Because whoever looks up to her is going to do the same exact stuff she's doing. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a benefit, whether she's doing it to get more money or whether she's doing it just for herself. Regardless, I think it's a benefit to society, especially Black culture, whoever looks up to her.
Here's a question. Do you think that it's too late to salvage her image?
It might be for some people, but it might not. As long as she could change one person, I'm happy with that. I don't expect her to, you know, change her image and everybody be acceptance of it, because she did what she did and she was doing what she was doing. But if it makes one person, one woman, young Black woman or white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever it is, change her outlook on life and how she's going about life, then I respect it. And I'm with that.
And there we have it. I think, you know, again, just seeing, I feel like I've seen this movie a couple of times. So I approach it with a certain level of skepticism. I don't even necessarily think that it's about the money, because even in the scenarios we gave, like a Vanessa Williams, like a Aisha Curry, these women are rich. It ain't about the money. But I think, you know, especially for Blac Chyna, her career was built on her celebrity and her relevance. So she could be getting the money, but if she don't feel like she's of the same relevance that she used to be, okay, I gotta re-engineer this thing and provide something new. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in music, artists do it all the time. To where you have an artist putting out a certain type of music, and then in their head, hey, these records ain't selling like they used to, or they ain't doing what they supposed to. So let me try to cross over, or let me try to do something different to try to reinvent myself and stay relevant. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Situations like a 2 Chainz, it worked. You know what I'm saying? But in other situations, it may tank, and you're not able to rebrand. So, you know, I think that's definitely the intention, because if it was just about personal growth, she wouldn't need to go on a war tour to announce it. She would just do it. You know what I'm saying? And
well, maybe she just doesn't want people calling her about Blac Chyna anymore.
That is a mute call. That is a mute mission.
Angela White.
You are who you are at this point. Who you done branded yourself?
I am Angela White.
They're gonna say, all right, Angela, but Blac Chyna, what I was saying was, you know what I'm saying? So again, that's why. But in my opinion,
Clay, so I'm gonna call him Clay.
You're right. Straight up. But do I think it's salvageable? I don't necessarily think so. But what I think doesn't matter. I think if she's happy with what she sees in the mirror, and this is the new path I'm going, and she done got baptized and gave her life to God, and, you know, things of that nature. I mean, I'm definitely rooting for her. I don't want to see her, you know, do bad or nothing like that. But I'm just saying that it's, you know, I'm tired of watching this movie, is essentially what I'm saying. And I wish somebody could get to these women a lot earlier, before they go through this whole cycle of trying to get my body done to appease the public and try to do whatever it takes to be relevant. Even if I got to go on reality shows and make a damn fool of myself, or go on Instagram and make a fool of myself just to be relevant, and then boom, they hit about 35, 36, and then men aren't taking them serious, and they not getting the heat, and they not getting the options that they used to have, don't have the relevance that they used to have. Now I gotta, let me tone all of this stuff down. Let me take down all my naked pictures. Let me, rebrand. I'm gonna start dressing more. I'm gonna start being, a woman of substance now. And hopefully I can catch something. I'm just tired of seeing that movie. I wish that I'd get through the women's head a lot earlier, that type of lifestyle and those type of changes are not sustainable when you're doing all of this superficial stuff. And a lot of them got to learn the hard way. They got to be baby mamas and 2-3 kids in deep, and weight gains, and going dead broke in some instances. Blac Chyna ain't broke, but, a lot of women got to go dead broke in some instances. You know what I'm saying? All them calls for them video shoots, slow down. All them DMs for them flyouts, slow down. You was getting, elite NBA players. Now you getting G League players hollering at you now. It's a little different. And now it's like, okay, I gotta rebrand to stay relevant. And that shit is crazy to watch. We just seen Brittany Renner do something similar. In terms of, you know what, I'm aware of all of the crazy stuff I was doing in the past, and I don't want to be that person anymore, and I'm going to be way more understanding. And it took for me to assess my situation and analyze I was doing things wrong and blah, blah, blah. And again, saying all the right things, but, it gets to a point where have you done too much damage to go back? Mm. And a lot of women have. Because let's be honest, we're going to always look at Brittany Renner and think of her past. That's just what it is. Blac Chyna, same way. Most people. So if that's the goal, it's a lost cause.
And then especially when you have kids, like, I think people really got to be careful too. And being a celebrity, I don't think that doesn't cancel you out on this, but your kids get affected by the stuff that you do or did do in some kind of way. Them kids gonna grow up and could possibly get bullied or something like that. This your mama right here? Just imagine, like, growing up.
That's real.
Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. People gotta be real careful. I get, when it's just you, like, personally, like, yes, you can do whatever you want to do, how you want to do it. Mm-hmm. But especially if you don't plan on having kids, I think, just all the way till you gone. Go ahead, do your thing. But when kids are involved, or if you plan on having kids, that stuff is going to affect them. So you got to be real careful on how you move and what you put out there, because it could come back.
Yeah, I agree, man. People got to move a little smarter, man. Got to move a little smarter. On that note, we're going to get into quick hits. Oh, man. All right, first one. It was a clip we was sent. Man was speaking to how my business picked up after I got married, man. We're going to speak to it. Get y'all take on what the man had to say, man.
I got married, my business grew 278% over 3 years. If you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they got one girl, dude. Yeah. They got one girl, and they got a solid girl. They don't have none of these little Tweety birds running around. They got a solid chick. And the reason they do that is because it creates such a stable place to operate. I know that I've got somebody that's creating a home life for me, a place to relax and rejuvenate, my life force. I don't have somebody arguing with me. I don't have somebody calling me, texting me, I'm not doing enough, blah, 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 or trying to juggle 3 chicks and all that shit. That's fucking work. That's another full-time job, man. Yeah. When you have like one person really there to support you and help you so that you can focus on the bigger task, you can't put a price on that. I got married, my business grew 278%.
278% is a hell of a jump. I just want to put that out there. But he was also saying the structure that it provides you. Kenny, when you hear this type of rhetoric being spoken on, is there some validity to it?
Yeah, I think once you get married, you have people relying on you being successful. So you tend to be more diligent in what you do. You tend to be more. You don't be more as complacent as you are when you're single. You're really trying to be more successful for your family and where y'all could be sustainable and live happily lives until you're 60 years old and then the side chick pops out. You gotta remarry. Hey, it always happens.
And rebrand.
Tell me it don't happen.
It do happen. They do happen a lot.
They got the they got the wife, and they built it 250,000%, and then boom, divorced.
Damn.
So hey, if you want to build a successful business, get married early.
Fucked up moral summary.
They gonna kick my ass.
Build up your money so the divorce don't hurt you as much.
I'll wait for the comment section on this one, boy. They gonna fire my ass.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Stability, structure. How has that changed you?
Yeah, man, a lot. We were just having this conversation the other day, and it was real because we was talking about just the adjustments in general that we both had to make coming into this space together. And, I was telling her, like, it's easy to, be by yourself. I was like, if you by yourself, you blow all your money, it's like, okay, whatever. I'm going to make it back. It's just me. Nobody else is affected by what I'm doing. But when you have somebody else with you, you got to be cognizant of the things that you do. You have to, I can't just go out to the strip club or go out, and spend $1,000 on some clothes real quick just because I feel like it. Like everybody else is affected when I do these purchases or whatever. So just having that structure and knowing that, and it's every day. When you single or kind of dating casually, you don't really have to put no plan in place or no structure. You still kind of just freestyling it, doing what you do best, going to your go-tos or whatever. But when you have somebody that's dependent on you, and it's more than one person, you start having a family now, it's like it gets even deeper because it's more people are affected by the choices that you make. So yeah, it definitely keeps you in line, and I think it helps you really become more of a man. Like you can definitely have your strategies or foundations and, whatever, that type of game plan. But when you have to deal with somebody and those pivots that happen throughout the relationship with them or the kid, like that stuff you have to add to your plate and think about.
Definitely.
And, as a man, we got to be responsible for all that. So, sometimes it can feel like a little pressure, but you got to be built for it. And that relationship is going to, in a sense, make you or break you. But having the right partner is definitely key because you can be in that situation and that person is making it worse than it should be, causing you hell. So choosing your partner, in that instance is super important because especially today, like a lot of men are still learning and growing. Like a lot of us haven't had structure. Women, y'all haven't had structure. We haven't had structure. A lot of us haven't had father in our lives just in general. So learning to be who you are and just coming into your own, like it takes losses. It takes a lot of, serious conversations. And sometimes you'll have women who aren't really ready just to have those conversations with you. Men don't know how to open up to have those conversations a lot of times because we don't trust what the woman gonna do with the information that we're giving them. So men gotta just get better and just stand on their own. That's what another thing that I'm learning. Just stand on your own 2 feet and communicate at the end of the day. Just communicate. If you're having a bad day, now, of course, women don't want you whining all the time. But, hey, hey, baby, not today or not right now. You mind if we, talk about this later on or talk about this in the morning? Like some things you just have to process and do on your own before you can come to your woman because, we got to solve our issues within ourselves first and then bring it to our woman and say, hey, baby, this is how I'm feeling about this. Do you mind if we do it this way, that way? We just got to communicate better and be firm in it. That's what it is. A lot of times we think our woman may look at us differently, but I think they'll respect us more if you just say what it is and then go from there. But you have to say it. We'll juggle a lot of times. Should I say it this way? Should I say it that way? And now it's a week later and it's boom. Now you got to unload all this information on her. And now she taking her back. And you want her to be understanding for that, but you could have said it a little bit earlier. So that's what I'm learning.
Yeah, I think, relationships are a lot like working out.
Yep, absolutely.
Is it comfortable all the time? No, especially initially. Right, it's hard as hell to get up and go to that damn gym and be disciplined and show up every day. But once you fall in a routine and you start seeing the results in your life and your body, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm looking way better. I'm feeling way better. Y'all heard them bragging about it at the open of the pod. I don't know, the grass is a bit greener. The air just tastes a little better on this side of the fence. I'm styling, my clothes fitting better. I'm looking better all the way around. And that motivates you to, okay, now I've accepted this as a lifestyle, and this is who I am. This is part of who I am now. Relationships work the same way. When we go into it, it's hard as hell to be on somebody else's kind of wavelength, especially if they're, how they move is different from how you move. You're not used to, having to check in and, being obligated to somebody else and somebody else being your responsibility. And just like you said, I can't go to the mall and spend that $1,000 that I was going to spend if I was single. And I got to wait a minute. We got this bill. You're supposed to be trying to travel to this place. Okay, my daughter need this. Okay, so I'm gonna go spend $400 now instead of the $1,000. It's hard to make those changes at first because when you come into it, you're just selfish by nature because you by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You used to being by yourself. So that's an adjustment to make. And, I think, especially speaking from a male perspective, that's one of the hardest transitions for us. But once we get into it and then we see that our business grow 278%, and then we see how much less drama we in because we're not juggling 5 different women and, out here in the streets messing with a lot of sometimes dudes, chicks or whatever. Now we got to look over our shoulder. We didn't know she had a man. She lied to us, this, that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole lot of just issues and personalities and shit that we got to be juggling while we single that you just don't have to worry about in a relationship. You know your woman know you. Y'all love each other. Y'all trying to build toward the same thing. And it's just way more peaceful. It provides you structure. It provides you purpose. Okay, I know what I'm working toward. I'm working to uplift us and she working to do the same thing. And we just kind of bouncing off each other. It's positive energy. It's this, that, and that when it's done the right way, right? But after that initial stage that I'm talking about, similar to the gym, when you first go start working out, it's pain because your muscles are breaking down because they have to rebuild, anew. So it's similar in relationships. A lot of times early, it's growing pains involved. It's arguments, it's fighting for territory, it's positioning, it's this, that, and the third. But once y'all reach that, stage to where it's like, okay, hey, this is who we are, we building, this is who I am, this is who you are, I accept you for who you are, you accept me for who I am willing to make certain changes and certain compromises to make this situation easier. But once we get to that point, it's smooth sailing if you're doing it right. So, I agree with him.
And adding another layer to that too with the whole working out. When it comes to your relationships, like working out, like you said, when you break it down, you end up growing when you keep doing it. But also you got to understand that you have to have rest. You need that routine maintenance. Like a car. You have certain issues that go on with a car. Everybody knows what a car does, but then you have small things about the car that sometimes you may have to repair. And the same thing in a relationship. It's small things about that person that, may need repairing or just touch-ups, tune-ups, small things like that. But you have to understand that if you chose that person, you choosing everything that comes with them. Everything. Like a car. If the tire go flat or blow out, you got to repair it. You know what I'm saying? You need a new starter. You need a new AC, whatever. Like, you need to repair that, so y'all can keep on pushing and operate at an efficient level.
Man, it's facts, man.
Start walking.
Get crazy. Speaking of compromises, man, purpose a lot of times has to be compromised, or the pace of your pursuit of it slowed down. We're gonna speak to this clip they sent us. It was about, should a person have to choose between a person and a purpose? Get y'all take on this dialogue and what they had to say.
What matters to you more? Do you care more about fulfilling your dreams, or do you care more about preserving and nurturing the relationship?
I think if you ever have to choose and they're not the right person, like it's almost impossible for us to be healthily together and you not make me better.
Okay.
And crystallize what I'm here
what
in
your
this
purpose
earth for.
is.
Yeah, exactly. It almost like it's if you're the one for me, it's literally unavoidable.
Like
I'm
I
gonna
have
keep
to
getting better. Yeah, like you're gonna keep making me a better man, and I'm gonna keep making you a better woman.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
as I'm with the person I'm supposed to be with, I almost will accidentally fall into what I'm supposed to do in life.
Wow.
Because I'm clearer headed, clearer thinking, more bodily healthy. It's almost I'm emotionally healthy. Ain't no way I'm not gonna come across my divine calling. when I'm with who I'm supposed to be with. Wow. So if I ever have to choose, you might not be the one no matter how much skin in the game we got.
That's crazy.
Because that just means you don't have the capacity for what God put me here for.
What matters to you more? Do you
Should a person have to choose between a purpose and a person? Kenny T, what's your thoughts on that when you hear this dialogue being broken down?
Do we even know what our purpose is?
It's a great question.
Most of the time, your purpose is whatever you end up with in life that you're just great at. Unless you're just born saying, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this." But I mean, I get what he's saying. I mean, it sounds good. I mean, some people are just gonna bond, and y'all are just gonna fall into your purpose that you don't even know what it is. You're just gonna bond and fall into something that they helped you build to be great at, and you helped them build to be great at. I think that's the main goal. I mean, most of us don't know what the hell our purpose is. You know, we're just going about life in whatever path we take, different routes that we choose, and hopefully the route that we choose is sufficient enough to make us a happy life. And on that route, we find a partner that's on that same path.
Hopefully.
I mean, purpose is I don't know, man.
Here's a question. I know you've given a lot of thought to it. But do you feel like you're any closer to finding out what your purpose is?
No. I don't think I know what my purpose is. I think I'm just happy to be alive and wake up every day and just follow this path that I'm taking day by day. I think my purpose is to live, honestly. And whatever I do while I'm here on earth is what I'm doing. You know, I don't think I just have a set thing that's my purpose. Like, I think every day you have a purpose to whatever choice you make. It's like being on this podcast. It's a purpose. Mm-hmm. Going to work, that might be my purpose. It might be a face I need to see or something. Maybe I'm thinking about it differently, but I don't have like it's as a set skill being my purpose, or a set moment to where this is my purpose. I think that's just an everyday thing to wake up and live the best life you can.
Here's a question: If you were describing yourself, mm-hmm. and somebody asked you, "Hey, what do you think that you're best at?" What would you say to that?
I think I'm best at keeping a calm head and analyzing the situation as a whole. In certain moments. Also, I think I'm best at not holding grudges or holding an attitude towards certain things. I think I'm good at just, if it happened at this moment, it is what it is. Let me move on. New day, new opportunity, new this.
Seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah, I'm not a person that wants to be down. I want to be around happy people. I want to be happy every day I wake up. I don't want to wake up and just be mad at something from the previous day. I just want to enjoy life and be happy to see the sun when it goes up, and be able to see the moon when it comes up. I mean.
And then how would you, if somebody's in a situation, just like he referenced, in terms of they trying to pursue what it is that they think that they purpose is, but they getting pushback from their partner, how do you feel like they should handle that?
Move along. If it's something that you feel that is your purpose, then go do it. If that's what you feel, then go do it. That means you have a lot of faith and you love whatever it is that you want to do. That's what it is. And if that person that's beside you is saying, no, you're not supposed to do that, it's not who you are or whatever it is. I mean, as long as it's a good goal. I'm not saying like I'm supposed to be a drug dealer. Purpose. No.
Purpose is delivering this product to the people.
Yeah, I mean,
every day they need me.
Literally.
You see these people lining up outside my house every morning?
Literally.
And how can I say that's not his purpose? It might be his purpose. I don't know.
Poison the community is my purpose. That's crazy.
Might be
that money
might be population
pays
control
for his kids' tuition in school.
His purpose was population control.
Oh my God. Population.
How do we know?
Oh my God.
How do we know?
That's crazy. I never looked at it from that angle, man.
Don't shoot that nigga no pain.
I never looked at it from that angle.
I mean, I don't know. But I mean, if you have a problem with this person that's beside you giving you grief back and forth, then obviously they're not that one for you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep somebody beside me that has a back and forth with me that just doesn't believe in anything I do and always wants to neglect any type of dream or aspirations that I have.
But what if it's not everything? What if it's whatever you want to do, they like, nah, baby, I feel like you should be doing this. I feel like you'll be better at this.
If they were, okay, for example, if they were a teacher and she came and say, no, baby, I think you'd be better as an entrepreneur. Leave them alone. My purpose is to be a teacher. That's who I am. Don't force me to be something that you think I'm supposed to be. Don't build me into somebody that you think I'm supposed to be. I'm already built as this person.
But what if you are a teacher, but you can get more money being a tutor?
If I'm happy being a teacher,
right?
Why would I put more stress on myself doing something that I don't want to do? Now that's going to bring more attention into our household because I'm doing this for you. And it's making me unhappy having to do it, something that I'm doing for you. And it just...
I just see it as...
causing a rift.
I just see it as you can spend less time at school and you could be more productive and make more money in a small amount of time by being a tutor.
Money's not my objective. My objective was to teach more kids at one time and be happy where I am. Money is not my end goal. I always say, some jobs that pay you a lot more money. I make a lot of money at my job, but I would take a different job doing something else that's a lower pay. Because, I mean, sometimes sometimes at my job I work a lot of hours. Sometimes I might work every day or, get less time off. And I don't like that. I like spending time with my family. I like going out. I like exploring the world. I like doing things like that. And for me to do that might be, hey, take lesser pay. I'm okay with that. Money is not my end goal. And I think that's a lot of people's problem. They say, oh, you can't do nothing in this world without, money. You can do a lot of things to make yourself happy without that money. So, as long as you're stable.
Like that answer. Oh, should a person have to choose?
Nah.
Between a person and a purpose, man.
Never. First, I'm gonna read because it got a few definitions of purpose. The reason for which something is done or created, or which something exists. A person's sense or resolve or determination, and it's a particular requirement or consideration, typically one that is temporary or restricted in a scope or extent. So I think too, you can have more than one purpose. You don't have like just one set purpose. You can have different purposes and different roles that you are doing in your life. I think you can have like a main purpose overall. And I think I have mine or found mine at least.
Can your main purpose change?
Yeah, I think once that mission is completed, I think it can, yeah.
What if I said my purpose was to be in the NFL, but I never reached the NFL?
But you can...
Did I complete it?
But you could be a coach or somewhere on the staff, or you could be tied to the NFL.
What if I never reached that?
Then
like
what?
I say, hey, I wanted to be a chemical engineer. And I got to school and realized
it ain't for me. No, you ain't lying. I did the same thing. All this math, you get the fuck. I'm gonna have to do what math? Shit.
Say this ain't for me, man.
How many atoms?
Physics 4. I didn't know it was 4 phases of physics.
Boy, I changed that so quick first semester.
That's some funny shit. There's so many people listening to this that went through that right there.
A periodic table. The only table I know is what I eat off.
But I used to see some of my friends do that finite math. Oh, man. No. Yeah. Oh, no, that wasn't even, nah.
My bad, I didn't mean to take you off.
No, you good. No, but I think you can still, but maybe that wasn't your purpose. Or, maybe you felt that was, and then, now you got to find something else to keep you kind of going and driven. I think mine was just simply, having a positive effect on people's life. I think that's my purpose. From personal training to doing this podcast, like I just feel like that's always been my calling. Even outside of that, like even coming up, middle school, high school, whatever, people's always have came to me just like as an ear, because I would always just take in what they saying, kind of give them a little advice here and there. But I think one of my main things that I was good at was just listening to what they were saying. I'm like, yeah, I feel what you're saying. Whether I agreed or disagreed, we was able just to have that type of dialogue. Mm-hmm. So that's something I had to reflect and look back on. And like I said, once we started really doing this podcast, I was like, damn, like all that shit kind of tie in, because seeing the results you get when you help people get motivated, especially when it comes to working out, like sometimes people don't know the capabilities that they have. And once they have that accountability partner, or once they have just a little bit of structure, it just opens something up in them that they never thought they had. And now it's like, I get text messages like, I didn't drop 2 dress sizes, or I feel so much better than I used to feel. I got so much energy. I'm not as tired as I used to be. What is this? Kitty always got a best.
As soon as he said this, as soon as he started talking, I already knew what he was thinking already. Kitty was hilarious, dog.
Crazy, dog.
What? Hey. I'm not even going to say it.
Nope. Nope. We're not doing that. We're not getting canceled. Go ahead.
Point is, like, you just never know how the effect you can have on people and a positive effect on people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. I think I agree, bro. If you got to choose between your person and your purpose, man, hard decisions got to be made. That's just what it is.
I don't think it's hard.
Your purpose was to kick them out your life.
Right, but that's hard. Because just like you said, you could be deep in the relationship. And then you find your purpose, and then it's like, well, wait, you ain't on board with this? We've been in 10 years. This is going to be a hard decision. But, baby, I got to pursue what it is that I feel like my calling is. And if you ain't on board with that, then, oh, well. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, what's the alternative? Mm-hmm. Me not doing it, just like Kenny said. And me choosing to do what you want me to do. And now I'm coming home with resentment every single day. I'm miserable.
The funny thing is, what if it's like every 5 years you have a new purpose?
You gotta ask somebody that.
And they're like, you know what? Hey, we've been doing this for 15 years, and every 5 years you got a new purpose, and I've been riding with you, and it's not benefiting me or us as a family.
But that's a personality trait.
That was your purpose, to ride that hard.
Maybe so.
Your purpose was to
ride
be
this
there
hard road with
and sustain the relationship.
Saddle up. Where you trying to go to? Goddamn. But I mean,
be a long ride.
Yeah, I mean, but that's part of it. When you agree to be with somebody, and that's why vetting is so important, is that you're supposed to understand their personality type. Somebody like that, they got a certain personality type, to where it's like, okay, I'm always trying to try new stuff. This ain't working. 2 years, I'm out. I'm trying something new. This ain't working. I'm starting a business. This ain't working. I'm going to school for law. Okay, I don't want to do law. I'm going to school for meds. I don't want to do med school. I'm going to school for this. So that type of personality trait is easily identifiable if you pay enough attention. Finish something.
I don't care what type of personality. You about to be a missing person.
You know,
you don't figure shit out.
I don't want to do none of that. I want to be a content creator. I want to start a YouTube channel.
A podcast.
Right.
We don't need no more podcasts.
See, you ain't supporting their dreams. You ain't supporting their dreams, man.
Playing games all day.
I want to be a video gamer on Twitch, man.
PlayStation still slow.
That's real, though. You know what I'm saying? But again, that is a personality trait that's easily identifiable. You need to vet and realize, okay, I don't need nobody that's unstable like that. I need somebody who's set. You see what I'm saying? But as that person, you got to be with somebody who encourages that. You got to, or it ain't gonna work. Or you just need to be by yourself and pursue what it is you need to pursue until you find it. And then once you find it, okay, boom, now I'm open to dating. But fact is, most people don't do that. Most people try to drag somebody along for the ride, even though they've been trying to get off the train three career options back. But you just ride with me, just stay down with me, I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Nah, sometimes hard decisions gotta be made, and if you are interrupting me in terms of what I feel like is my calling, you gotta go. Because me being with you, it ain't gonna do me no good. It ain't gonna do you no good. You know, so you got resentment, I got resentment. Let's just wrap this. You go find somebody who on the same page. So I feel like what he's saying is right. Your person should encourage your purpose. Your person should have faith in you, even if they don't understand the purpose that you're pursuing. And, you know, trust the fact that you're going to be able to be the man or the woman that you need to be in this relationship while you're pursuing it. And if they don't have that belief, you're wasting your time. So it's unfortunate, man, but it's life. Prayers to all parties involved, people out there trying to figure it out with 5 or 6 different majors. And
if your purpose was to be a crackhead.
Next topic, man.
That ain't
last one of quick hits, man.
Population control.
Hell nah. Population control is a hell of a purpose. I ain't see that one coming. Should we be raising our kids to find a spouse? I'm gonna play this clip, man. Get y'all take on this thing, man. Should you be raising your kids to be a spouse, to find a partner? Or should you be raising them more in line with what the older woman had to say in this video, man? Just to be a productive citizen. What's your thoughts on that?
I think the best way you can raise your kids to find a spouse is by having a 2-parent household with a successful relationship that they see every day. That is the best way to raise your kids to want to have a spouse. Without even saying it. They just grow up seeing it. They grow up seeing their mother and father together 30, 40 years, always happy, never see them arguing or get into it in front of you. That makes you want to have that same type of relationship. But for what the lady said, she kind of has a point. You know, some people, man, that's a hard answer. If it was up to me, I would do like the old lady say. I would raise my kids to be successful individuals, and not just think they're not successful just because they're not married. I think there's other things you can provide to this world than a marriage and kids. But I would try to provide a household that had a successful marriage and where they could see it, if that makes sense.
Oh, so take on it, man. Should you be raising your kids to be a spouse, or should you just raise them to be a productive citizen overall and take care of themselves?
I'm leaning towards both. Like you, because especially wait, hold on,
safe. No,
I'm leaning towards both. You ain't leaning on either side.
Yeah, my answer. I'm leaning on my answer.
You got to pick one or the other. We ain't doing both. This is a no both show.
No, this is what I'm doing because, and let me tell you why.
All right, I'm sorry.
So, like she said,
I ain't with it.
You want to raise your sons, daughters, whoever, to be a great person, great individual overall. You want them to have self-sufficiency. You want them to be smart. You want them to, do all those things. Know how to work the room. Know how to talk to people. Be respectful. All those certain things. But I also don't see nothing wrong with teaching them how to be a spouse. Like, these are if you want a relationship, these are the characteristics that you should have or should provide in order to have a successful marriage. Now, like she said, which she clarified and I appreciate at the end, was if that shouldn't be the only thing. Mm-hmm. That's why I definitely agree with. That shouldn't be the only thing. But if you're teaching them how to just be a great person in life and trying to set them up for success, like, yes, you want to find somebody along the way. So when you get that person along the way, this is how you should be treating them, or this is what you should look for, or whatever, So, I think it's okay to have both. It's okay to have both, especially if you want to further your legacy. You want to carry your name on. Like, if you don't have structure and they haven't seen it or anything like that, then how are you going to be able to really carry on your name? And that's another thing. We don't really take pride in our name anymore like we used to. Like, you used to have, that's them Wilson boys, or that's them Moutons, that's them, like, at least from where we from, like, you were known by your name, by your parents, by your grandparents. That's how you were kind of judged based off of. And if you were part of somebody's legacy, it's like, they were some bad ones. They uncles or whatever ran the streets, but when you had a positive role model, your people was good people, your reputation upheld in a lot of places. In schools, it started elementary. You know, like, again, from where we come from, it's like, oh, yeah, your mother is such and such, your grandma such and such. Oh, yeah. So they, for the most part, have a good perception of you because of the people that they interacted with as they were coming up. So your name is everything. So teaching them how to be a good person and teaching them how to be a good spouse, a great spouse, I think is equally important.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't think you could teach somebody how to be a spouse. And the reason being is because, again, every relationship has their own unique identity, right?
Of course,
so I could teach you. I don't know. I guess like the traits that I'm putting into you to be a productive citizen are transferable traits to you being successful in a relationship. But I'm not teaching my daughter, hey, go find a husband in college, which is what the scenario is speaking to. No, you go to college to get your education. You go to college to solidify your stability. If a husband comes along, then you can entertain that situation. And if you find a man that's worthy enough of leading, then you follow his leadership. But in terms of like, hey, you need to go, your game plan need to be finding a husband in college. I don't necessarily agree with that because it's teaching you to be dependent. And that's not what I'm teaching any of my kids. Fact is that relationships are not a stable enough commodity for your sole livelihood to be tied to it. That's just what it is. Now, if we talking 50, 60 years ago, different conversation, right? Because women wasn't really allowed to work. Women wasn't really allowed to vote, things of this nature. So it's like, okay, you kind of, the man you pick is the most important decision that you're going to make back then because that's what your livelihood is tied to. But today, not the case. Today, women can go out there and make big dollars and drive their own cars and have big houses and things of that nature. Now, again, it's not saying that, once you find leadership that you shouldn't, I guess, know how to ingratiate yourself. But the traits that I'm teaching you to go be productive in life are going to be transferable. And you're going to be shapeable. You're going to be versatile enough to be able to get into that relationship and see what that unique man wants and to be able to adapt if you're willing to adapt to what he wants. So just that whole notion. And again, I know other cultures do it and things of that nature, but fact is other cultures are completely different from us. They have completely different backgrounds, completely different financial circumstances from us and things of that nature. Fact is a lot of us, especially if they're in college, is first of their family to go. They trying to climb out of poverty. They trying to figure it out. They trying to, just reach some type of stability. And it's hard for you to be successful in doing that if you focused on finding a man or focused on finding a woman. No, you need to focus on solidifying your stable lifestyle first. Everything else falls on the back end of that. But it sounds like what they're saying is, hey, what Bree was saying. Salute to Bree Renee as well. Just shot some content with her with Ace metaphor. Solid chick. But what she was saying is like the notion from a lot of races, hey, you go find that husband. Everything else, take a back seat. Hell no. I'm not raising my kids to do that. That's just not realistic to me.
Yeah. Everything else taking a backseat, no, definitely not. But you don't think that we would benefit, let's say, in the perfect situation to where
you said perfect situation?
Not even perfect situation. In the situation where we're both going to school, because that's a realistic situation. The man and the woman going to school from our community, going to school, they both getting their degrees, and they get into their field after they graduate. Now you're able at 24, 25 to really start coming to some money versus you doing everything on your own till you in your 30s, then you get married or settle down. So you don't think that would be good, like early on for us as a whole to get that, sold up early? That way we can have money early, we can have a house early, like we can do more things at an earlier age, younger age, because that's our focus first on just ourselves and then meet to somebody. Because I think...
Well, you just focused on yourself when y'all both got your degrees.
You still... Yeah, but you can... I'm just saying I think both can be done at the same time. You can still focus on yourself if both of y'all... Our cousin, in a sense. Both of them went to school or in school when they just graduated. Nurse and a doctor, right? Something like that. Both doctors.
I'm not sure, but go ahead.
But in a sense, like they both went to school at and they was dating at 19, 20, finished in med school, all that stuff together, and they still together.
Right. So again, and again, you're speaking from an ideal place, and I don't like to speak to ideal. Fact is that when both of us is in college, something is gonna take a backseat.
Yeah.
Something. You see what I'm saying? So again, my notion was priority should be solidifying your stability.
Yes.
Everything else takes a backseat to that. Now you're saying that you can do both at the same time. Sure. I could also go to the convenience store today and win the lottery, but what I'm saying is likelihood is one of them is going to suffer. So you have to lean away. Which one is priority?
It should be school. It should be.
Then we agree.
And I think your cousins chose school first in your situation
Absolutely.
that you gave.
They chose school, but they still stayed together throughout the process. I'm just saying we need to make that more of a norm, like so it's not just an ideal situation. And that's the problem with us is the fact that we don't do that as often as we should. And other races, they have done that, and that's been like their thing. You know what I'm saying? So if we copy that formula, and you compare it, it'll, hopefully we should have success based off what they have done.
Talking about staying together from high school?
I mean, that's just in college, getting together early in college, being serious about your school. You still have your mate, but school comes first for both of y'all. Schools come first. We both get our jobs after we graduate college, and then we're able to flourish. And we attack that early versus us kind of struggling to the finish line and really working ourselves until we, close to 30, in our 30s, and then meet with somebody.
You're telling an 18, 19-year-old who don't even know themselves will probably change their major 3 or 4 times before they graduate college to find a mate, the first one they see.
Nope, I didn't say that. I didn't say first one they see.
Okay,
we said school first.
So if it's not the first one you see, then obviously you're going to continue to be dating while in college. And
school is first.
How much time does that take away from your schoolwork?
School is first. We said that already. It doesn't matter.
Well, then how can we take the approach that you're trying to make by saying, hey, date but still do school? Because if you're dating,
school comes first.
Yeah, so then you won't be able to date at all. You won't be able to do the example you gave. You won't be able to do.
Yes, you can.
Successfully.
Yes, you can. It's been done. We just don't do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, school comes first.
My question is this, how is that different than how we doing it now? School comes first. If I find somebody, boom, then we can ride it out on the back. People doing that now, which is why I say you're trying to play both sides of the fence and you can't. What is priority? Heavy priority. You trying to say, okay, yeah, we can make the priority, but it should be right there up under it. Fact is that that's the way people in their head feel like they doing it now. I'm going to school, get my degree, get my money. If I meet somebody, cool, then we can pursue it if it's worth pursuing. But people ain't just going into that saying, you know what, now I'm blocking everything out. I'm going to school first. I don't want to date. I don't want to entertain. I don't want to have sex. I don't want to do nothing. That's not how people moving. People moving with the priority of school first. And if I can find something, cool. How is what you saying different than what they doing?
I don't think people are doing that. That's why.
What you think they doing?
People are getting in relationships, getting pregnant, and dropping out of school. That's what they're doing. They're not putting school first. That's reality.
So they're putting dating first then.
Yes.
So then your option still doesn't work then.
But what I'm saying is, in order for it to work efficiently, what we should do is focus on school first. Like we agreed to. Mm-hmm. If you find your person along the way, that could be the first person, that could be the 10th person, however you date, but you still put school first.
The thing is that we are arguing for no reason. Because, again, that's what people are doing. Even those people who get pregnant and drop out, do you think that they went into that relationship with the mindset that this ain't going to work, I'm about to just have a baby and drop out of school? No, those people thought they found their person. And then it failed for whatever reason. And again, them pursuing that relationship so heavily fucked up their schooling. To where it's like, I'm so consumed with trying to find this person and make this relationship work that my grades are slipping, and now I'm on academic probation, and now I'm kicked out, now I got pregnant, and now we broke up. But again, the intention is the same. I'm going to school to get this degree. If I find somebody, cool, we're going to try to ride it out. Mm-hmm. How is that, I ask again, how is that different than the mindset people are going into college with now?
I think...
in comparison to what you're advising them to do.
Yeah, I think we just arguing two different things. I'm just simply saying... In order to change the perception and everything, that's how we should be moving, just being more intentional. One, being more intentional about our schools and more intentional about relationships just in general. in order to be more successful early on. And we're not doing that. Right now it's kind of one or the other. It's either I'm focused on school heavily, and then now I'm, they 35, they done lived their life from 25, 35, whatever, traveling, doing this, doing that, and now you're ready to settle down and kind of look for somebody. Or they just, never focused at all, and then they're at where they're at now instead of, focusing on school. So I'm just simply saying to reverse that, because we have a little influence if we can preach to the younger kids to, yes, focus on school, but understand the importance of a relationship when you get with someone. Because that's why you and Smooth both make great points. When Smooth said get with somebody early on when you're struggling, because at the end of the day, that's when you get kind of the most respect from somebody, and when you respect somebody in general when y'all have been in similar instances, and that we both kind of came from the bottom and seen each other, when we didn't have as much as we have now, we're able to respect each other and grow and have a better understanding of each other versus both of us already being successful and assuming that somebody trying to comfort somebody just because we're in a better place than what we used to be.
But see, that's what me and Smooth often disagrees at. He speaks to it from the angle as, okay, you need to find somebody early so I can trust them. I trust you. You was with me when I was broke, this, that, and the third, in comparison to me going get the degree, going to blow up, get my money, and now I'm dating somebody that I got to question their, intentions or whatever. What I'm saying is that you go establish yourself, get your money right, and then when you date somebody that's on your same level. Then you don't have to worry about that you're trying to come get my money. Shit, you make just as much money as I do. But again, it's always spoken to from the perspective of I'm successful and I'm dating down. That's what we disagree at. In my opinion, I think you got to solidify yourself in a comfortable fashion first, because like I say all the time, a broke man cannot be focused on a relationship. He's clipping his knees out from under him, because relationships require a lot of time, energy, and effort. We all know we've been in them.
Absolutely.
Which is why I said it's not realistic for not necessarily you, but for people to say you can pursue both at the same time, give both the same amount of attention. That's not realistic. And more times than not, and which is what I tell Smooth all the time, the likelihood of that type of relationship that he was in surviving is low. It's very low. Because for one, at that young, you don't even know who the hell you are yet. Going back to what Kenny said, I'm 18. I just left my house. I'm not even living for me yet. I'm living for what my parents want me to do. It's not until you get to about 23, 24, it's like, okay, I don't give a damn what nobody say. I want to do this. I'm about to go do this. That's when you know yourself.
Okay.
But when you're dating somebody before you know yourself, and just like people done wrote in and said, we met young, but just like you said, Trill, I grew up and I wanted to do this and she wanted to do that, and it didn't work. We fell apart. That's going to happen way more times than you're going to stay together. So if that does, have yourself solidified to where, okay, losing her is just going to hurt from an emotional perspective, but it's not going to hurt my lifestyle. But if I'm broke as hell and I'm focused on maintaining a relationship, my career is going to suffer. My degree is going to suffer. Even go back to what you just said. This chicks that got with a dude thinking it's going somewhere, it don't. She get pregnant, got to drop out of school, and now she got to finish her degree whenever she can. But in the process, I'm substitute teaching. I'm working cashier here. I'm trying to take care of my kids. I'm on government assistance. He ain't helping. This, that, and the third. Why? Because you prioritize the relationship over securing your financial stability first. And now I got to depend on finding a new man that's willing to take me, my kids, and all my trauma from this relationship and my lack of financial stability on. The chances of that happening are very low in comparison to, hey, I go get my bag, go get my car, go get where I'm going to stay. My lifestyle is comfortable. I meet somebody on my level and we can build from there. I feel like that's way more. If I'm advising somebody, that's what I would advise. Because the other side, the likelihood of it surviving is not high. It's so many different people who was in high school. I found my lifelong soulmate. 21, they can't stand each other. Can't even be in the same room with each other. So again, all I'm saying is solidify yourself first. Same thing I always tell the Smooth. Now again, he speaks to his situation. That's very anecdotal for you to do. Sure, you did it. Y'all was young. Y'all did y'all thing. I was young. We did our thing. But that's just like a motherfucker in the street selling drugs. Yeah, I sold drugs for 15 years. I never been to jail. You should do the same thing. That's bad advice. Because likelihood is you're gonna go to jail. I just beat the odds. My situation is not the standard. What should you advise? Somebody to be comfortable from a financial stable position so they can focus on building their relationship, especially from a man. Because if my money is not right, I'm not gonna be no good in a relationship. Most men. So that's what we differ.
And we're not saying school is a 4-year degree.
Sometimes 5, 6, 7.
Well, if you went on it like you're supposed to be focusing, we're gonna go 4 years. We ain't gonna extend it.
I mean, people working. That's real. Today, people got to work to pay their way through school.
No, we gotta have
which takes no.
That's true.
Which takes away even more time from the relationship. But continue.
But okay, my question is: the people that we speaking on, are they moving with intent, or is it just they just kind of freestyling?
My question is: how can you move with intent when you don't even know who the hell you are or what you want to do yet? How can you do it? How can somebody that's 18 be moving with intent in terms of a relationship?
With the right structure. Going back to if we raise our people right from an earlier age, you can say, hey, these are the steps that it takes to get to where you need to be. And if you follow this program, I'm not saying the result's going to be perfect. I'm not saying your result's going to turn out like mine, but this is the path of success, and just stay within this scope in a sense. And I think that would help people out a little bit.
Right. And again, it may help them out from a financial perspective, which is, again, speaking to the difference in background and foundation that us and those other cultures have. A lot of those people are speaking from perspective of people that got trust funds set up. We got businesses. We got money within the family. So, hey, this is the path. If you want to go to school, you get your degree in accounting. We got a big-ass accounting firm. You come work for me, get your money right, this, that, and the third. A lot of black folks, just be honest, don't come from that. So it's kind of hard to give, okay, you should do this and then go be successful. Fact is, a lot of us going to college is our first time there. Niggas giving you advice, hey man, just go to school. Just do something.
Just experience it.
Right. So so again, how focused, how intentional can somebody that's coming from that type of background be if you don't even know what the hell you gonna do? My pops worked in driving trucks, or my mama was working at the damn picking up phones, bill collector for 20 years. I don't want to do that. How much advice can she really give me as far as structure and things that I should go do? So that's the difference between us and those other cultures. We got to be the first ones in our family to figure out what stability is. And it's hard to do that when you're trying to juggle a relationship. Because of the amount of time, energy, and effort that it takes to maintain it. And fact is, that's why I said something's gonna suffer. Whether it's the relationship gonna suffer because you ain't giving it the amount of time, because you focus, going to work, studying, things of that nature. I can't go on dates with you every week. I can't talk on the phone with you all day long. Or your career is gonna suffer. Because now baby want to do this, she want to do that, she want to come over, she want to kick it. You know what? I know I got a test tomorrow, but let me kind of, I'll start studying. This movie now, I start studying at 2 a.m. It's all good. He make sure baby good.
Oh, this no
relationship.
and then your academics fall
first.
But it can't come first.
You know what I mean? So again, that's just the difference in perspective. But I see what you say in terms of just, hey, we should, I guess, be more prepared or put it higher on the priority list, I guess, of like maintaining a relationship and things like that. But again, if your situation from a financial perspective ain't solid, you can't do that, is what I'm saying. More times than not. The percentage of it succeeding is low.
You want to know how we can help them? Follow Cruising the Podcast and all. / Patreon. You could also purchase some merch.
Yeah. So, but again, prayers to all parties involved, man. I just want people to just move right, man, and get yourselves situated. There's so many people out here that's just not doing well from a career perspective. They just getting by because they done got pregnant or they done did this. They gambling and taking chances on shit. The likelihood of a relationship surviving is not on your side. It's just like going to the casino. If I gamble enough, I'm going to lose it all. The odds are against me in this.
As soon as you walk through that damn door.
As soon as you walk through the door. It's the same.
They ain't open 24/7 just because they losing.
And ain't new casinos popping up all over the Vegas because they losing money. The odds are against me. So prepare for it, is all I'm saying. If you run into something that you feel solid, y'all going in the same direction, pursue it. Cool. But there needs to be understanding, hey, my priority is this. You're going to be second.
That's what I'm saying.
And you got to be with somebody who's willing to take that and accept the fact that I'm going to be second priority in their life. And fact is, most people are not. Shannon Sharp just did an interview in which he was speaking to it. Mm-hmm. I'm pursuing this NFL, and I dated plenty of chicks. Say, I don't mind, I understand. And then as that career goes on, I know what you said, but can we at least a date night here, something there? Baby, I can't do that. I got film. I can't do that, baby. I got weights. I can't do that, baby. I got to study. I can't do that, baby. I got exam. Eventually, that lie that they told is going to reveal itself. And that's the case in most situations. Most people are not cool with being second priority. I don't give a damn what it's to. Even if it's for a big money play. Or your kids that you may have. This is another example. So that's why I say likelihood of that shit, not high. Solidify your bag, take care of everything else on the back end. That's my advice. But we're going to get into advice column, man. Hello. All right, this is from Sharina, Patreon. Make sure, man, y'all don't be announcing how y'all need to announce, man. She says, hello, I'm a Patreon member who would like advice from you guys. My name is Sharina. I'm 28 years old and I'm in a relationship with a felon. He is 42 years old. We live together. We both have... What? Hear out.
You trying to say they don't deserve love?
Hear out. My name is Sharina. I'm 28 years old and I'm in a relationship with a felon. He is 42 years old. We live together. We both have no kids. We both make $60K a year and we have been together for 2 years. Overall, he treats me very good. He cooks, cleans, caters, respects me, loves me. He's loyal. Sex is great. He works hard, romantic, pays bills, supports my goals, gives me emotional support and more. I love him, but...
I was waiting for the big but.
I think I grew resentment for him. I believe it's because of all that I've dealt with in the relationship when it comes to him trying to clean up his past life. It took some time for him to get on his feet. I stuck around while he got a trade, a new car, and is now making $60,000. Sticking around while he didn't have nothing wasn't easy. He works every day and shows me every day that he wants a new life for himself. However, he is currently on house arrest, which means we are extremely limited to the things we can do as a couple outside the house, which leaves me bored most of the time. Although he does make an effort to romantically spice up the relationship inside the house, it's just not enough anymore. He also has an open case he is still dealing with from 3 years ago before we got together that will guarantee put him back in prison for another year or two. I already stayed around the first time he went to prison for 8 months, and it was miserable. I don't want to go through that for another 2 years. I'm growing resentment because of the baggage he comes with and inconsistency. Once he goes back to prison, he'll have to start all over again in terms of getting himself on his feet. Once he gets out again, I'm basically exhausted of holding him down. My question is, should I hold on to what me and him have and stick it out, considering outside of his current case, he is truly a good man?
I ain't giving no advice.
Who has proven he wants a better life for himself and also treats me great, or should I end the relationship now and start dating again? Also, do you think he deserves a second chance at life and love regardless of his past decisions and being a felon? I'm 28. I have a ticking clock. Do you think I should move on considering 2 years of waiting on him will push back my time of having a baby 2 or 3 years, making me 30 or 31 trying to conceive? Thank you guys for the advice. I love the podcast.
Baby, hold on to me. See, I'm a special guy.
I don't know, man, because I see it from different angles. But it comes down to you. What do you want? What do you want to deal with? What are you willing to tolerate? You going resentment, but you knew this man's history. You signed up for all that.
Question though, we're gonna add a layer because I think we all agree on what the general thing is.
I was gonna tell her to stay.
If this was your daughter is 28. She's dating a felon, 42 years old, 14 years older than her.
As soon as she told me he was a felon, I would have told her, get out. I'm sorry.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
What's the charge?
I'm sorry.
That's my question. That's what I was about to get to.
This nigga on house arrest.
That's
It's
what I was
something
about to get
big.
to.
What's the charge?
The nigga on house
I'm about
arrest.
to get to.
What? He could have
Now my whole family in danger. My whole family in danger.
He could be tax evading, you know what I'm saying? He could be a
Nah, nigga on
scammer.
house arrest for tax evasion. He ain't doing that one.
You can't even take my You can't take the kids out. You can't do nothing.
They ain't got no kids yet.
Well, I mean, they don't, but no. He has if I had a daughter.
What's the charge?
Something that he about to go back for.
I need to know what the charge is.
Aggravated assault or something. I don't know.
Nah, it's probably some armed robbery, aggravated.
Maybe he was a driver in an armed robbery that when he was a young age, and you know,
the nigga got in trouble 3 years ago. Kenny, they was together for 2.
The charge just got buried up 3 years.
This is the second time.
It was on postponed.
No.
Oh man!
Stop laughing, B.
So
I need that same vitriol from the last.
So that
the same energy.
So the whole shit happened when he was 39.
Yep. The recent incident.
The incident before. How long she say she held him down? 8 months. So he went to jail 8 months. Got out, and then now he facing another charge from the same offense. But I guess that situation got pushed back.
Ah, okay.
And now
So
he facing 2 to 3.
So 8 months for the first charge. It couldn't have been that bad then. It was only 8 months.
I mean,
probably been drugs.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. It's probably drugs, probably some aggravated robbery or something like that.
I'm not saying that they don't deserve love, so don't get me wrong.
But not from my daughter.
Not from my daughter. Nope. I'm sorry. That's for any of y'all. That's just what it is. I'm sorry. That's the chance I gotta. I'm taking as a father. I'm thinking about it from a father's aspect now. But at the end of the day, she gonna do what she want to do, no matter how much I try to guide her or whatever. She gonna, you know. So, but just advice. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, say hell no.
I'm sorry, fellas. I'm sorry. Not mine. You go to somebody else's daughter.
Somebody else to do it. Kenny, your daughter 28. She dating a felon that's 42. He might go back soon for 2 to 3 years for a crime that he committed before they was together. And she held him down.
And that's the extra layer. If it was in the past, I would definitely try to give him some slack. Because I understand men change. They do stuff when they're early, young and dumb. Cool. Definitely get that. But you did this shit again at 39.
No, it's a charge from a first offense. It wasn't like 2 separate things. It's 2 separate charges from one offense, basically.
Yeah. But again, if we had to put an age on it, it's 36.
You fucking up.
He was 36.
37, 36, something like that. So
that's too late to be fucking up.
Yeah.
That's too late to be fucking up.
That's tough, man.
I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Maybe he was just getting away with it for so long and he was making bread with it, and they just finally caught him at 36.
I ain't gonna say that. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
Man, I would say for her situation, you already growing resentment, and he ain't even back in jail yet. You don't even know the decision of the case. I don't even think the decision would even deter you from doing anything else.
Right.
You're tired of being in a house around him because he's 42 years old and y'all don't really connect anyway. Let's just be honest. And the fact that the sex is not keeping you there anymore. I would say leave.
I like it.
I mean, damn, you say he's a good guy, and everything, but if you can't be in the house with him so long no more, and he was only gone for 8 months and you hated that, so 2 years, you just imagine what you're gonna do when he's gone for 2 years.
She's gonna be ready.
And you already out of being in love with him, really.
Yeah, the infatuation phase over.
So I would say you gotta leave. And hopefully you tell him why you're on the phone with him.
Because he might go back.
Nigga might have another case.
Another case. So I would call him up and say, hey, baby, I just can't do it no more. I'm sorry.
Y'all boys going to hell.
I moved out of town. Don't come looking for me.
You going to catch a case while you're there. You tell him that.
Hey, I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
You got to have a serious conversation. Ain't no way, boy.
And I don't want to make it seem like felons can't change, because they can. They definitely can,
That's what I'm saying.
For her situation and her growing resentment already, he ain't even gone yet.
She wants kids.
Ain't even happened. She wants kids. She doesn't want to raise the kids with their father already in jail, hoping that when he come back out that she's going to be the one mainly providing anyway, because he's going to lose his job. I mean, it's just so much that she already didn't see the future of how much she's going to hate him. And when he come out, he ain't gonna need that, because guess what he gonna do? If he was selling drugs before, he gonna find a way to make that money just so he can please you before you to stay.
2-time felon
at 44 years old.
Good luck.
Right then wasn't gonna help. I mean, she already said she's already growing resentment. That seed has been planted.
Sharina, I'm gonna keep it all the way G with you, man. You could be doing so much better than this. You're 28 years old. You got no kids. You're making $60,000 a year. You could be doing so much better than this. And don't get me wrong, it's no knock. Well, it is a knock against him. You still committing petty crimes at 35, 36. We got problems. That's my issue. Now, if, okay, he did something at 22, 23, that's following them or whatever, then that's a different conversation. This is a new offense. He did 8, coming back, do 2 or 3. I know how the legal system works. Unfortunately, a lot of my family did a lot of jail time and things of that nature. These are petty crimes that he's doing at 35, 36, and just because he got out.
Felony ain't no petty.
Well, I mean, if it's robbery and theft, shit like that, like it's a lot of things. Jonathan Majors got a felony assault for strangling the shit. But again, that's not a conversation of the day. We ain't here to debate the level of the crimes. The timing of the crimes is very important to me, right? And again, y'all have nothing. That man's 14 years older than you. So that's already a red flag to me, right? But 2 is you did a lot to get him in the position that he's in my opinion, more than you should have did. But you did it. And I think that's more what you hanging on to than anything else. You literally got this man a place to stay, got this man a trade, got this man making $60,000 a year, coming fresh off a felony, fresh out of jail, things of that nature. And he's 14 years older than you. And you put him in position to do these things.
Being a helpmate.
Don't we talk about that, being a helpmate?
Yeah, we talk about being a helpmate for a grown-ass man.
Accepting somebody for who they are.
He was a leader. He just had to get back on it.
What? Yeah. What if he was making bread before, got caught, and just had to start over again? But he was making bread before.
So, again, when you're committing crimes at 36... I agree with that. What my boy Mark Phillips said, you're 36.
36.
You're 40. It's no excuse for that, especially when you're 14 years older than the woman you're dating. What type of example, what type of leadership is that setting? So in my opinion, like I said, you have no kids tying you to him. You don't have nothing tying you to him. And you already have resentment for him. The 8 months that you waited broke you. What do you think 36 months is going to do? So it's a situation where, hey, man, I appreciate the man you are and things of that nature, but sometimes your past catches up to you and won't let you pursue certain opportunities. There are consequences to what we do outside. That's just what it is. That's life. Just like a woman who got 2 or 3 kids. Again, she could have went to those situations with the best intentions, but when you come on this market and they see 2 or 3 kids, there's going to be consequences to that. There's going to be certain men be like, nah, I'm cool. I don't want no parts of that. That's just part of the game. So with him, it's the same thing. Don't feel guilty because you're not willing to ride with him through a 3.5 year prison bid. A man that's 14 years older than you, that you put money in his pockets, put him in position to win. You've done enough. But for him to be going back, and again, it could be the same charge. But fact is that you about to be 2 or 3 years holding him down from the outside in a situation that you already feel like is untenable. It's not going to get better. That distance is not going to make it no better. I'm going to just say that. So walk away from that. Find you a man who's on your level. Hit the ground running. Don't put your life on hold for a 42-year-old multiple predicate felon. You deserve better. That's my advice. Last one of the day.
I'm just saying you could do better.
Hold on, where we at? Oh, all right, Courtney, Patreon. All right, Courtney says, hey, it's Courtney from Houston. I'm writing you about my boyfriend. I've written y'all about us before, like 2 other times. I haven't really talked about this with my friends because I'm so messed up. And they were just saying they want us to get back together and hyping us and this and that. So we've been together 4 years come April. And we were really rocky in December. So much so we started couples therapy. We only did a few sessions because I didn't feel like we were getting anywhere. Just talking about communication when our big issue was commitment at the time. Around December, he started getting his this weird itch. Like we were moving too fast. He doesn't know if he wants to get married anymore. He wants me, but doesn't think we can be together right now. The end of January comes and we broke up. He moved out the day of the Super Bowl. And after that, we just maintained a friendship that wasn't really just that, because every time we're together, we have sex.
Of course.
Anyways, this past week, he says he's come to the realization that I'm who he wants to be with. That he wrote... No, my bad. That was accident. That he wrote out the type of woman that he wants to be with, and he kept describing me. We had a long, hard, honest conversation about everything, and it was great. And it made me feel comfortable enough to agree to start again with him. Last night, he calls me and tells me that this girl that he had sex with once is pregnant. Probably a few weeks, I'll assume. I could tell he didn't want to tell me. He sounded so upset I was in shock. I still haven't cried yet, but I know it'll come. He said he doesn't want me to leave him, and part of me doesn't want to. Another part of me thinks it's best if I do. I don't know. I've never experienced this before. I feel so broken and defeated right now. I know it's a lot, and I'd have to be more selfless than I've already been, and I don't think I can be that.
Whoop.
I don't have any children myself.
Whoop.
I thought my first child would be his when he finishes school.
Whoop.
I'm so lost right now, and I don't understand anything. But I guess my question to you is, how do you think I should move forward? I love him, and I want a life with him. But this was never in my plan. I know it wasn't in his either, but like WTF, man.
What my nigga Kenny say? How much do you love him?
Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah, I ain't with that. I ain't with that one.
Yeah, it is.
Nah,
Yeah, it is. They broke up. That happened when they weren't together.
Nah, I ain't with that.
She loves him.
He had been fucking that girl. Let's just be real with it.
Here we go. Come on.
He been with her for 4 years, dog. And on and off talking about something, well, I want to be with you. Then all of a sudden, I don't want to be with you. Then all of a sudden, he magically wrote down the woman that he wanted on a piece of paper. Let me see the paper.
She showed him. He showed him.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. She said that he wrote it down on a piece of paper of the woman that he thought he was, and it came out to be her. Kept describing her. Let me see the paper. Because I know he ain't writing nothing down. He found out that he got another woman pregnant. And he doesn't want to be with her. And then he knows that if he tells her, she going to stop fucking with him. So he's like, well, you know what? Let me just say, hey, I want to be with you so I can hold you to myself, keep you on my back burner, and still do what I've been doing.
But is that not being honest? Hey,
no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't honest from the jump. That's being manipulative.
There you go.
Is it?
Yep.
Yes.
In what way?
Because making it like you had an epiphany.
Hold this.
Okay. Ain't no goddamn epiphany.
We got a part. I'm trying to ask. I'm just clarification. We got viewers that may need that extra.
Get away from that. Y'all been having on and off issues for 4 years. We would tell you all the time, men know what they want within the first year, at least year and a half.
Hey man, finally clicked,
and y'all stay.
Never did I imagine that you would play a major part. Hey, I'm telling you.
I know what clicked.
Do I stay? Do I go? I think about our life and imagine we'll meet the most.
Girl, the love that we share is real. And the time it was really. Yeah.
Hell no.
I'm not saying I'm gone, but I
had to find what life is like.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Without you.
It happened to have a baby.
Hell no.
What B just say? There's consequences.
Yes.
And he found out the consequence. And she ain't about to deal with that. That's a headache already that happened.
You know what the messed up part? She say, I try to tell my friends encouraging me to go for it, girl. Y'all go do y'all thing. And that's what I mean by terrible friendship.
And he didn't even tell you how long that girl was long pregnant. You just assumed that it was a couple weeks.
For a reason.
And he didn't even want to tell you.
For a reason.
Come on now, man. Don't do that. Don't do it.
Timetable gonna tie up to some shit that he don't want her to know.
Move along.
And yeah.
Move along.
She still got them strings attached too because they never really broke ties. Yeah. He moved out, but he was still hitting.
It hurts. You might not eat for a couple days, but
sick.
I mean, you gotta let that go because you just putting yourself through more trauma. Y'all even went to couples therapy. He didn't even know how to communicate.
And that's key.
Wait! I forgot that part. She said they went to couples therapy.
I missed that too.
And they was talking about communication, but she said the problem with communication was commitment. The man never wanted to commit to you.
Didn't even know if he wanted to get married, all that stuff.
The fuck?
First he said he wanted to get married, then he didn't. Or didn't know.
So y'all been in a 4-year situationship. Because if y'all went to couples therapy and the issue was commitment, that means y'all wasn't together. Y'all was just fucking for 4 years. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here, get that nigga out of here, man. I don't even mean to cuss like that, but
no, I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming her.
Come on, man.
You put yourself through this
for 4 years,
and it happens. We go through some stuff, but don't keep on putting yourself through this trauma. Don't. It's not healthy. Let him go handle the situation he got with the baby mama that he about to have, and you go about your life, find a good life. You already tell your friends that you want to move on. And why are you forcing yourself to be there?
Your friend's goofy as hell for that too. That's another thing. Walking your homie down a terrible path. There's no way on God's green I tell my boys, yeah, I like this girl, but another dude got her pregnant. But look up. She's a great person. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, man, if you don't let that get the hell away from that girl, it's over. What y'all had, the potential y'all could have had, it's over. And he had 4 years to make it right. He had 4 years to commit, had 4 years to write this list down, this epiphany that he had. He had 4 years to do that. It don't take a man 4 years.
You gotta eat that, bro.
And then he made it worse with a baby.
Mm-hmm. Come back talking about
cherry on top.
I want to pursue it, but remember Tanya that I told you? Yeah.
That nigga did everything possible to get her to leave. She still ain't left yet.
Dog, he literally did.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
What give it a commitment? None of that stuff. String along, 4 years, and it had a kid to cherry on top.
That boy said within a month's time, literally within a month's time,
ish, yeah,
he realized that he was ready to get married to her while getting another woman pregnant. Come on now. Come on.
What happened was what Kenny said happened. He got the test results. That girl sent him the picture of that positive pregnancy test. They got to arguing. He tried to get her to get the abortion. She didn't want to get it. And now he got resentment towards her. He can't stand her. And now it's like, damn, I had something good. Let me reach back and try to cling to it. I'm going to try to play the nostalgia card. Yeah, girl, you know, because back in the day, we used to go to the movies. You remember we used to sit in the parking lot and just talk all night. I miss those days. He tried to swoop back in with the nostalgia, get your ass back worked up. He probably working on your friends, too. Hey, man, talk to her for me, man.
I wrote down on a piece of paper,
you know what I'm saying?
the woman that I wanted, and it was you.
It was you. You know what I'm saying? I thought about this long and hard. You remember that movie? I watched the Photograph with Issa and them. And I was thinking about that. That remind me a lot of us, man. I think we should pursue this. But I just want to let you know before we go any further that I end up getting this girl pregnant. Hey, and I'm sorry about that. But I don't want to be with her.
That talk to your friend that used to work back in the day, boy.
Man, you know he did that. You know he did that.
And end up hitting one of the friends. Possibly 2 of them.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Possibly 3 of them.
Let her know, man.
Courtney, man, I'm going to tell you what we just told the person before you. Serena, you deserve better than that. You do. The man has a whole child outside a relationship and he wouldn't commit to you for 4 years, but he didn't have no problem fucking every time you came over. He was down for that. Oh, we can have sex every time you come over. Commitment, whoa. Let's slow down. We don't need, we moving too fast. We 4 years in, but we moving too fast. Let's slow down. I ain't really ready for that right now.
And they was moving in together.
And they got a place to stay. He had consistent ass, no commitment. You was providing that man a dream. I can't even blame him. He was taking advantage of the opportunity, man.
Yep.
But as for you, get the hell rid of that man and move on to something that a man is more deserving of you. And call your friends and cuss them smooth the hell out. Please. Matter of fact, do that first. And then break it off with them. Because that's some dumbass advice that they giving you. That's just honest.
That's... I don't even see how you can even. But I love him. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's where it be at.
This shit got me mad thinking about it. That ain't even my situation.
That time.
It's no way that I tell y'all boys to go pursue something with a chick who been just dogging you for 4 years. And now she got pregnant by a whole nother dude. And I look at you, my homie, the nigga that I die for, and say, you know what? You should go marry her.
Give her a chance, big dog.
What?
Yeah, if y'all want some real guidance, just call me at 409-651.
Who number is that?
Y'all need a little further tutelage. You give me on my private line.
Oh, that might have been the wrong number. My bad. That might have been somebody else.
That's crazy.
First 3 digits was wild.
Wait till these next 4 come out.
On the Patreon. You gotta get to the Patreon to get that.
That was wild. Wait till these next four come out.
It's fucking insane. On that note, man, we're going to get the hell up out of here. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us, man. Crusader Nation in the building. Everybody listening, make sure y'all like the stream before y'all get up out of here, man. If you enjoyed the conversation, salute to the Patreon. First and foremost, always, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all writing in, man. And both of the young ladies that wrote in today, get the hell away from them, man. Please, for us. Y'all deserve better than that. Crewseason.com for all merch. These amazing hoodies that y'all see these guys wearing here are now available. Crewseason.com. Make sure that y'all purchase brand new stuff coming, man. We working on things always. It's constantly evolving. It's constantly elevating. And you know, we want to thank y'all a lot for that. Smooth will be back real soon. We got brand new content dropping for Patreon only.
What about the Fridays on YouTube?
Yes, we're gonna be introducing a new segment for everybody that, you know, constantly wants to ask questions and things of that nature. We're gonna roll out situation. We're gonna live stream again on Fridays, man. We live stream on Wednesdays. That's become kind of a staple. And the Friday show is gonna be a little different. It's not gonna be panel style. It's gonna be us in our old school fashion, the way we used to do. Y'all keep asking for it, man. Y'all need to just have something where y'all just answering questions only for the. That's what it's
gonna be members only too.
Facts.
Members only.
So, you know, this is going to be a brand new situation. We're going to unlock the subscriber mode in YouTube. And if y'all subscribe to it, then y'all can pull up, you know, and those are the only questions that's going to be answered, right? Because there's going to be a lot of questions in the chat. But when you subscribed, then you got that green star or that blue star or that orange star, whatever color we make it. Those are the questions that's going to be getting answered. You know what I'm saying? Or if you Patreon, you know, those as well. So, yeah, it's gonna be a new segment, man. It's gonna be a way that we can connect with y'all and, you know, chop it up and, you know, give y'all advice. Because again, you know, we don't be trying to dish y'all when y'all write in on Instagram and things of that nature. But it's a lot of questions, like a lot of y'all say when y'all write in. We know y'all get a lot of questions. People, it's more than even you think.
And y'all sending paragraphs in books,
right?
Y'all not sending just 5-6 lines. Yeah. We got to scroll 2, 3, 4 times on for some of y'all.
And again, don't get me wrong, we definitely appreciate y'all trusting us, you know, trusting our advice and things of that nature, but it's a bit overwhelming, you know what I'm saying? So this is a alleyway for y'all to come through, man, and give as much context as y'all want. Come on stage, chop it up with us, or, you know, ask the question or whatever, and we'll answer it on the spot. So that's gonna be a new situation that we rolling out. Dates will be announced for the first one, coming real soon. And, you know, again, man, we just want to thank y'all for y'all continued support, man.
Facts.
Am I leaving out anything, fellas?
Nah, I think you got everything. I don't say follow me on Twitter too. I'll be sprinkling in a few little hints and gems for y'all from the pod. So if y'all want a little insight or just small little things, @SoWell_fitness. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be helping y'all trying to. For the ones that know, they be hitting me all the time, especially the people on Patreon. So
we'll be in Vegas on Memorial Day weekend.
Facts.
If you want to come to Kenny's bachelor's pad, get the brakes knocked off you.
Take a number.
Get in line.
What's the old school number thing?
The little raffle ticket.
But my numbers ain't gonna get past 1. We'll be done at the 1. Now calling 1.
Sorry, everybody for coming out.
We're done for the day
again tomorrow.
If you're not first, you last.
Straight up,
Ricky Bobby.
But yeah, man. So we gonna be out there Memorial Day weekend, man. If y'all see us, man, holler at us, man. Speak. You know, y'all ain't gotta be nervous. I know a lot of times people be thinking, you know, we unapproachable or whatever. They see us out. So, well, yeah, I just seen y'all at the. It's cool, man. Just come up and speak, man. You know what I'm saying? Introduce yourself. Chop it up for a little minute, man. You know, we you know, definitely open to that. So, like I said, we appreciate the support. Everybody be safe out there, man. Take care of each other. And, you know, until next Tuesday, man, we up out of here.
Peace. She was just there for the season.